What is going on, everybody? It is episode 556 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett, and I am here once again with my co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. We are back from the weekend. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm foggy. It's so difficult to be a streamer, Mary. You have no idea.
Especially today, like the stress of being a streamer is really weighing on us, and
I don't know how I do it.
We're just gonna try to pull through today.
I'm gonna do my very best to just pull through today. I don't know how we do it day in and day out. You hit the little button, it hits record. We hit the little button again, it says not recording anymore. It's crazy.
And sometimes you say that you're fine, but you're not really fine, and they would never understand.
That's me most days. I get done with work, and what I do is I go.
Dane is also here.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy?
You know, he's acting like it's jest, but Brett does cry when the stream is down.
I do. Well, here, what it is, guys.
He's very emotional.
I love you guys so much, and then when we have to part for the day, I'm sad, and I want to hang out with everybody, but then I got to go home, and it's just...
You're like cleaning up the money, but also using it as a tissue to clean your tears.
There's a great idea where, yes, there are days where you clean up the money, but in a more dejected fashion than you normally would clean it up. You're like, wah, wah, wah. We're putting it away.
Yeah.
It happens. Actually, you know what, guys? We're getting off topic here a little bit. If you guys don't know, that's one of the things we're going to be talking about today. Is that Hasan Piker is kind of being raked over the coals on Twitter over the weekend for saying that being a streamer it sucks the soul out of you, unlike a 9-to-5 job, which never does that.
Yeah.
Never.
So never. No.
So
not me.
It's harder for Hasan Piker, who makes 7 figures, than it is for you, who has a normal 9-to-5 job.
Also, with that whole discussion, it became like, it's funny because there could actually be a discussion of nuance there about like, is it harder? No. Is it harder to be more successful? I mean, the odds of actually being successful in that world are so slim, but we'll get into that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're gonna dunk on that a little bit, but we got a bunch of other stuff to talk about. But before we do that, would you guys hit the like button on this video, subscribe to this channel so that you can make it so much better for us. It's so hard to do this job. I'm going to need you to hit the like button and subscribe to make this job worth it. Just please.
Just make it tolerable just for today.
Please, guys. And remember, all super chats, $20 and over. We will interrupt the discussion. We will read those super chats right then and there, and then we will do our very best.
We're ugly criers, and you don't want to see it.
Yes, it's very true. Like sometimes
give us a comment. We're very lonely.
The bill is just soiled with tears by the time it's all done. It's not easy. So we're going to talk about that, but also we're going to talk about a bunch of other things. Shane Gillis had his debut over at Saturday Night Live. If you don't know the story, he was originally hired to be on Saturday Night Live back in like 2018. He was then let go because he makes jokes that are not something that Saturday Night Live approves of, but he ended up winning in the end because they called him back and asked him to host the show. So we're going to talk about that because Twitter, again, was all over the place on Sunday talking about his performance. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about comedian Chrissie Mayr, who was attacked outside of her most recent show. She was pepper sprayed. Remember, she is, in fact, pregnant, which is very, very scary.
Very pregnant.
Very pregnant. So
we've got a $20 from Pop Culture Junkie. Thanks for explaining party count, crisis meter, etc. on February 19th. You saved me tons of time by keeping up with pop culture and filtering out the toxic sludge so I don't have to. Hope it's not warping your minds. Keep it up. Believe us, it's warping our minds, but we are happy to do it for you.
No, here's the thing. It's warping our minds, but if we complain about it, we'll end up being like Hasan Piker, and then they'll be making fun of us. Like, so just a bunch of people are digging ditches, and you're over here complaining about having to read garbage on the internet.
There are only 2 classes in society, the ditch diggers and the Twitch streamers.
Exactly. So, it's the sad fact of the matter is people just don't like to hear other people complain about their work.
No matter what it is.
Yeah. Like Trump could have been like, oh my God, it's just so hard to be the president. They're like, quit whining.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Chrissie Mayr. So she was attacked outside of a show. This is not the first time this has happened. Somebody else got attacked outside of a show earlier, or at the end of last year. So we're going to talk about that. Also, this absolutely bonkers professor says that it's kind of racist to like Taylor Swift. And also, she believes that the Super Bowl might just have been a white supremacist conspiracy theory. So,
nice.
Yeah.
The Venn diagram between racists and Swifties is actually a circle.
I did see what it says, like the Taylor Swift audience is overwhelmingly millennial and make more than $50,000 a year.
Suburban white
women. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, now the Venn diagram between Taylor Swift fans and Stanley Cup drinkers, that is a circle.
No, it says they make under $50K a year.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So how are they affording these tickets?
Yeah, seriously, they're not.
It's not adding up.
Mom and Dad are paying for those tickets, I think. All right. We got that, and then of course we are going to talk about Hasan's comments. We've been having a little fun.
Are you guys going to talk about that girl that cries when she hears a song coming?
Yeah,
on?
we'll get to it. Okay, it's cringe.
Yeah, Dane's gonna have to like hold off.
No spoilers.
Yep, we're gonna get into it. So, all right. So if you guys are ready now, I know this is a difficult job, but if you're ready, Mary, we can just get right into it. Are you ready?
I think I'll get through it.
Dane.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna give me like a segue as well, and then it was just like Dane.
No, Dane, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. First things first, all the bad news in the world sucks. I got some good news for everybody here. Choco-Tacos are coming back.
At Taco Bell?
At Taco Bell. So they pulled the Choco-Taco last year. I still remember, I didn't even eat it, but I went and got one of the last ones you could get at the corner store and then like brought it back like here and then like put it in the freezer and then it was just gone. I wasn't gonna eat it.
Someone stole your Choco Taco.
I left it there
this
for
is an
somebody else
injustice.
There's been a long history of Timcast fridge theft.
I
gotta put your name on everything.
I'll just go and say it.
I left it there for somebody else to have. I didn't plan. If I
You were
had,
donating.
Yes, I
the
would
Choco
have
Taco to the community. Yeah.
So you know, it's
It was
good
received.
news. So
I don't understand why Taco Bell hasn't made churros yet. Would that just be too expensive? It's literally dough, right?
yeah.
That's
Like
a great point.
they only have Cinnabon Delights.
I imagine there's like some actual reason for it. Like it's too
There's
obvious
gotta
of a
be.
thing that there has to have been like we have a moratorium on this. Like, I'm sorry, no churros.
Well, they have an exclusivity contract with Cinnabon or something where you can't have anything else on the menu.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So that's good news. I don't even know what Salt and Straw is. I'm assuming that's like an ice cream place. or
Yeah, I've
something.
never heard of it.
I had never heard of it, but you know.
Also, you know what's so disgusting in food right now is just the fact that anything will pass for iced coffee or cold brew these days when it's literally just sugar and milk. Like, there's a Reese's flavored canned cold brew.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that has got to be like 2% coffee.
Okay.
By the way, someone said Taco Bell tastes like Bud. Ban that guy from chat.
I can do that.
Ban that guy. You have the power.
So
Wait, what?
There's also like it's I don't know if it's a cold brew. Is it in a glass container or is it in a
They sell
can?
all of these canned. There's like a Twix flavor, a Reese's flavor. It's just like, this is why we have an obesity problem
This
in this
is the
country.
new problem is now they're putting all sorts of like candy into like other products. So they're doing the same thing where like you can buy Starburst flavored water now.
Ew!
There was a
Yes.
list. That's insane. There was a list of the unhealthiest foods that you can get from like restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
The number one is the blooming onion, but in the top 10,
Wow.
it was one of the. I know.
Okay.
I also thought onion somewhat healthy, but then again, deep fried. Right, am I right?
Yeah.
But one of the Starbucks drinks was on there. It was like 7th or something.
One of the Frappuccinos,
Yeah,
probably,
the-
which is
the
just a
chocolate one.
milkshake. Can we all admit to ourselves that
is.
you're buying a milkshake?
Do you know what it is though? Well, I think they're doing it. I mean, partially it's because so obviously they got to license these products out from other people to put like a Starburst water. It's because it's not made by Starburst. It's made by another water company with Starburst flavoring in it. But what it is they take advantage of the brand recognition of the logo.
Right.
Right.
Good
So
one.
I saw one of those iced coffees, but this was like a glass bottle, Reese's one, and I almost bought it just for the novelty of it. I didn't, but I almost bought it just for the novelty of it. This goes to.
I'm glad you didn't, because you would have keeled over and died right
Very,
then and there.
very, very true. I was because I go to the grocery store a fair amount because I don't like to buy a bunch at once. I buy like individually, like over for like a couple of days.
That's very French of you.
And I'm telling you right now, like my I was explaining it on Twitter yesterday. My Roman Empire is that I believe that right now you can buy just about every product ever made individually wrapped and microwavable. They have microwavable pancakes, and it simultaneously explains the downfall of family in Western culture. You don't even have family to cook for anymore. Everyone's just out making individualized dinners for themselves because because either they're too poor and they don't want to buy, they always talk about the cost benefit of being able to buy like healthy ingredients and everything like that. So the more you see individually wrapped microwavable products in the grocery stores for products that don't need it, the more they have like individually wrapped grilled cheeses that you can microwave.
Okay,
Bruh.
that is not.
It's the downfall of family.
I disagree with your Roman Empire about this. I don't think it's necessarily about the atomization
I do.
and like the fall of the family. I think it's just a testament to American laziness.
No,
if
but
you
it's
can't
crazy.
get up and make a grilled cheese
if you had
or a pancake for yourself, that's about laziness.
If you can't
not-
figure out grilled cheese in the list of ingredients, like
Well,
it's pretty.
it's that,
Yeah.
but also it's like if you go like take the pancakes for example. My point was it's like you buy a bunch of you buy the actual batter and you buy all the ingredients that it takes to make it, but you don't make it for just yourself. You make it for your family. You make it for more than one person.
It's a bit of a stretch.
I don't think so. I don't
Could
think so.
be. Could be.
I think a lot of it is also it's just,
Are you saying that you can't eat pancakes alone?
I don't eat pancakes.
It's a
anyways.
communal meal.
I don't eat pancakes anyway.
You know what? It's true. I don't think I have
It
had
is.
pancakes alone.
Because what are you gonna do? Eat a pancake alone? Like, what are you, fat?
I mean, yes, but like I'm really trying to think if I've ever had pancakes alone.
Yeah.
Don't remind me of the French toast waffles pancakes debate.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it.
I mean, you brought it up.
I just think it's interesting that as you go to the grocery store, it's far less of its ingredients now, and now it's individually packaged stuff. And like you said, it could also just be that Americans are lazy a lot of the time.
Lazy,
but I don't
clueless.
But I mean, individually wrapped grilled cheeses is truly horrifying.
Yeah, that's awful.
We got a $20 one here from Boosted Yogi. Says, "Where did you get that chi, Danny?"
What?
What?
Is this a reference to something that we don't get?
So true, King.
Okay, so Choco-Tacos, and I don't know how many people here have AT&T. I do have AT&T.
I don't know if I should dox my cell phone service.
Did you get your $5 credit yet?
No, what I got was a conciliatory text message over the weekend saying, "It's AT&T. We apologize for Thursday's outage, which may have impacted your ability to connect with others. We value you as a customer and commit to doing better." That's all I got. No $5 for me.
It's like they got canceled. It's more like they got canceled than.
Or no, it's like it's your toxic boyfriend who's like, "I swear I'll change.
I'm never gonna cheat again.
I'll never cheat on you again." Yeah, it's literally that. And I don't even get a $5 credit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got cheated. But they're offering $5 to anyone who wants to sit on hold for 5 hours to get it.
The funny thing is like my network, like mine was out. Like the one time I was in a place with I didn't have Wi-Fi. I was in a place that wasn't Wi-Fi capable at the time. So when I woke up, I had no notifications whatsoever on my phone. I'm like, wow, woke up, nothing.
The sun was shining. The birds were chirping.
Well, my phone is always on silent. I don't actually see any notifications unless I actually look at my phone, right? And I got up and I'm like, oh, wow, that's kind of nice. Nothing came through.
That makes a lot of sense.
Does it?
You say that.
Other people would think, no one wanted to talk to me.
Wait, why does that make a lot of sense? Because
Yeah, it's like 6 hours later from Brad. Like, yeah, a response.
on my time. Yep. So, and I was like, oh, wow, no notifications. I got to work, and then all of a sudden, like, because my network was out, and then got to work, got into Wi-Fi here, and my phone just goes, and there's all sorts of these things showing up, and it was sucky, but I don't think $5 is really going to fix it.
No.
So, you know.
The apology helps, though.
All right. Let's move on, shall we? This is insane. Okay, first of all, nobody in the world actually wants Gladiator 2. Nobody. Literally nobody was asking for this. Even fewer people were asking for this than the Ferris Bueller spinoff that's coming. This movie has had a budget of $165 million that ballooned to over $310 million. And all I can picture is the coke snorting executive who's just like, why can't we make any money on these things? Because you spent $310 million, you'll spend another $150 on marketing, and then by the time you're done, you need to make over $1 billion to break even on a movie that doesn't even, literally the budget is fatter than Russell Crowe is now.
Hey.
And there's no way that this is going to make any money.
Question. There are tons of sports betting sites. Are there betting sites where you can like short a movie?
God, I wish.
That'd be great.
I wish that existed. I probably shouldn't be putting this idea out there.
So like sports betting on whether a movie will do well or not.
Whether it will make a profit.
Oh, well, no, because what would happen is like the numbers around budgets are murky. they would argue about whether this is an official release from the studio, and then they never actually released the marketing budget.
Okay, what if you could bet, like, is this going to make $1 billion? Is it gonna make a certain benchmark in the box office? I think that's an incredible idea, but someone do it for me. I'm not going to start it myself. I would feel, I don't know. I feel like I would be contributing to gambling addictions.
We'll take royalties though.
Yeah. Give me the credit. I'm good with that.
We'll have to wait.
That really should exist.
It really should
exist if they use those very, very specific parameters that we always say, which is like, okay, a movie costs $100 million. Marketing budget is usually 1.5 times the cost of the movie. So you add that, and then you take the idea that the split with the studio is 50%. But the problem is it's also different overseas. So somebody would have to then tabulate how much of this was made in the UK, how much of it was made in China, because what you take back in China would be less than what you take here. So if you make $100 million here, you keep about 50 million of that. If you make $100 million in China, you only keep about 25 million of that. So somebody would have to figure out just exactly how much is actually made before they can figure out where the break even is.
Autism is powerful.
I think if these studios faced the humiliation of people betting on their failures, they might actually step up.
I'd rather put money on that than the stock market.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's like a more reliable.
I don't know why this doesn't exist yet.
Somebody can ask, can look and see if this exists. I have no idea if this actually exists.
I want to short on every Marvel movie.
Yep. All right. So just I don't think anyone's gonna go see this without Russell Crowe in it. Why would you want to go and see it?
Or with Russell Crowe in it.
And somebody said it has Pedro Pascal in it. That's not the.
That's the selling point.
What doesn't?
I don't know if that's the selling point, but
grow up.
Seriously.
All right. Do you want to tell everybody about this one, Mary?
Yeah. So Ken Leung, who is in the new Netflix Avatar: The Last Airbender show.
Mary loves
it. I'm the biggest fan of it. He recently revealed to Deadline that he had no idea he was auditioning for the Last Airbender series, and he thought he had auditioned for one of James Cameron's Avatar films, with the blue people.
I don't believe this for a second.
You think it's fake?
I think it's fake. I think that
he's engagement farming.
I think it sounds very, very clever.
It's not
funny.
Disbussing Film. I fact check. It's not on Disbussing Film. So
it's like it's the only one that felt real to me was the Madam Web one, because that one was just too sad to be fake, where she thought she was auditioning for a real Marvel movie.
What is it about that movie?
It's just what do you mean? What is it about that movie?
It's hilarious. It's hilarious because it's not woke. It's just bad.
It's catching the amount of flack that I think the Morbin time movie did.
Not quite.
Not quite the same.
But people are saying it's even worse than that.
It's imminently less memeable than Morbin time.
Yeah.
Webbin time just doesn't have the same effect.
Madam time.
Madam time even doesn't really have the same effect. But it's just bad. It didn't have. Okay, so here's
not even Sydney Sweeney's Tickle Bitties could save it.
They cover her up the whole time.
Yeah.
Well.
But that movie had less of a severe drop off week 1 to week 2 than the Marvels did.
Okay.
So the Marvels had a bigger drop off between week 1 and week 2 than Madam Web did. So,
but no one wanted to see Madam Web in the first place.
That is true.
So.
Yep. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I don't know if I believe that he didn't think that he was like, his agent didn't tell him that's for this and not for this. He wasn't paying attention. Just seems like BS to me.
Okay.
But like, are you guys like noticing that? I feel like Hollywood is like slowly discovering, or entertainment media in general, discovering that not having abhorrently looking people on films and television actually works.
You think that they're hiring hot people again?
Yeah, they
never stopped
Sydney
hiring
Sweeney
hot people.
and
They
like
just increased the number of not hot people they hired.
Propagandistic looking guy. Like they were in a romantic comedy and people like enjoyed it.
Anyone But You?
Yeah.
With Sydney Sweeney, Glenn Powell.
200 million.
Making a lot of money.
Making a lot of money.
First romantic comedy since Crazy Rich Asians to make over $200 million.
I wasn't even aware that Crazy Rich Asians was a rom-com.
Technically a rom-com.
It's like, imagine putting non-gross people in those roles.
And then reaping the rewards of putting actual people you want to see.
Well, you're like, who is going to see this?
Yeah.
Literally everyone, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know. But no one's really talking about it. It's not really part of the conversation.
So they're going, but they're just not that. They're like, it was fine.
Yeah.
It's nice to look at attractive people on the huge monitor for once rather than ugly people.
Here's another remake that no one asked for and no one wants. Lionsgate is looking to do a modern remake of American Psycho.
Yeah. But do you see they're trying to get the guy that plays Dennis to be the psycho?
The who?
From It's Always Sunny.
Oh, they could do that.
Are they gonna pick like Bill Skarsgård?
Probably.
They're gonna get Lizzo.
No.
They'll get who will they get? They'll get John David Washington. They'll get Denzel's son.
Can they find someone who's actually good at acting, who's actually attractive, who also has something a little bit off about
Bill Skarsgård works.
Bill Skarsgård works, yeah.
He'd have to bulk up a little bit.
Yeah.
I have a day job.
He's Bill Skarsgård like bulked up to do that Boy Kills World trailer, and even he still looks like he's got more of a swimmer's physique than like an actual bodybuilder physique.
I don't think you could do this as a modern remake because part of the reason why it's believable is the no mass surveillance.
Yeah.
At the time.
That kills a lot of like what you watch nowadays, when you realize that you get caught on a security camera like hundreds of times.
And DNA, obviously, that's another part of it.
And also the movie's perfect.
And you're not allowed to.
You can leave it.
You're not allowed to satirize like corporate culture anymore.
This is like Dude Mean Girls.
Do you think that's true? Or do you think that people just aren't interested in it? I don't know if it's you're not allowed to. I just don't think it's as relevant as.
Or maybe it's like part of less people's experience because of work from home.
Yeah, like I think about like when I rewatched The Office over the winter, and I was like, I love it, but it came out at a time where like I think it came out like 2004. So somebody can correct me on that if I'm wrong about when the movie Office Space. Okay. So I was watching Office Space over the winter. I don't watch The Office. Okay, so and I think it came out in 2004, but I could be wrong about that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be off by a couple of years.
No, you're way off.
99.
You said 2004?
Yeah.
No, you're like super duper off. It's like early 90s.
Guys, when did Office? It did not come out in the early 90s.
Yes,
1999.
99. So my second guess was correct.
Debunked.
Okay, so I was watching it, and I was like, you just like this just doesn't ring true with Hollywood anymore because they've lost connection with the common man.
Yeah.
Right. That experience, the office experience, is still very relevant to plenty. There are plenty of office parks in every city in America full of workers exactly like that who would be able to resonate with a story like that. But Hollywood has become so ivory tower and elitist that they just don't understand how to make movies that resonate with the common man anymore.
Yeah, it's all Emily in Paris.
Yeah.
Let's make shows about fashion executives.
Guys, I made my correction on the year before any of those came in the chat. Just wanted to let everyone know I corrected myself.
You weren't that far off.
I was just literally throwing a guess out there. I'm like 99 or 2004.
So have you watched The Office at all?
Never watched The Office. I've never watched The Office.
I know that it's kind of a meme that everyone's seen it and it's like way overhyped, like
I've
Friends, but it's definitely worth.
Oh, it's better than Friends.
It's worth a first watch.
The only
for sure.
episodes of Friends I've ever seen were ones that I was like literally forced into watching by a girl that I was dating.
Yeah, I think The Office is better and it's worth a first watch if you
It's
haven't
way
seen
better
it.
than Friends.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
Like, here's the thing. Somebody put, like, in the chat, Victor White says The Office 2 working from home. I don't want that. I don't want that. Just make a whole new movie. It's like if you ever saw the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds, if you ever saw the sequel, you don't want...
There's a sequel?
There's a sequel called Still Waiting, and it's bad. So, just no. Yeah, and I think you're right, though. I don't think it's that they can't make it anymore. I think it's just that they don't know how to.
We've got another $20 from Pop Culture Junkie. Mary, nearest thing to your idea is Hollywood Stock Exchange, HSX. So can you bet on the studios then instead of the individual movies? I don't know. I would be less likely to do that. I want to bet on like an individual movie. All
right. Mary, tell us what's going on with Wendy Williams, because this story is very sad.
It is sad. Wendy Williams, as we covered on Friday, just got diagnosed with dementia and aphasia. And people are asking, should we give Wendy Williams the privacy and grace she denied other celebs as she built her career off of gossip about other celebrities? And now Lifetime is producing this documentary series about her after she is diagnosed and she's maybe not aware of the consequences. But someone replied with a real video of Wendy Williams saying, I would ask people to respect my privacy, but that would be hypocritical.
I would ask you to respect our privacy, but please, I don't respect people's privacy. That's why I do the Hot Topics. I would
kind of based.
This is why people love her. This is why people love her. And it reminded me of us. Because we talk about other people all the time and speculate about their personal lives.
It makes me itchy having to talk about other people all the time. Like,
gives you the heebie-jeebies.
In my personal life, I try to keep things to like the broad strokes and not do that type of thing. But it's not really possible with celebrities. It's kind of all about individualized examples in this world. So otherwise it would be like you can only talk about like broad
How old
ideas.
is she?
She's in her 50s. Right?
Yeah, I think she's only like
59?
59. Yeah.
Kind of young for dementia.
Well, it's not just dementia. It has like a specific name, but it's the same thing that Bruce Willis was diagnosed with.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's really, really sad. So, all right. As sad as that is, her documentary is out now. Right?
Yes.
And
she's executive producing it. So I don't know how that
Incredible.
works.
So here
having dementia and producing a documentary about myself. Cool.
Have you ever seen that meme? It says like looking up, asking what the signs for Alzheimer's are, noticing all the links are purple.
Well, I hope she doesn't have an attention-seeking daughter with a TikTok account.
Well, okay, so that was an interesting discussion because I didn't see it that way. I did not see it. You're talking about Bruce Willis, right?
Grow up.
You're talking about Bruce
Are you
Willis, right?
kidding me?
That video of her holding his hand,
Yeah.
you thought that was exploitative?
That was, I mean, she should be in jail.
Wow.
Are you
you're kind of like imagining yourself in his position, right? Like you wouldn't want
in both their positions?
You wouldn't want someone to post
Like if my father was going through that, like even if it's a sweet moment, I'd want to keep it in the family, right?
Yeah.
I think there's also probably a male-female divide there where women are probably more likely to want to post that stuff on social media. And
What are you trying to say?
Well, I'm saying that like I wouldn't do something like that. I certainly wouldn't post something like that. But if you grew up,
every woman though.
If you grew up in social media culture and that's just how you experience the world now, and that's how you share things, I just don't know if I see that as like inherently evil. I just feel it as maybe it was just in bad taste to some people, but I wouldn't really see it that way.
I think it's
Pop Culture Junkie said you can bet on movies like they're individual stocks. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Cool.
Wow. All right.
We should do that.
no, but yeah, it's a
I mean,
horror.
I can't do that because I'm in recovery, but you can do that. I'll slip you $5 to.
You're not going to gamble?
To place a
Okay.
bet.
It's abhorrent and you're wrong. And I think that's the end of this subject.
Agree to disagree. Let's move on. All right. So let's watch this video of Kim Kardashian, shall we? Here we go.
She has
she
her
is.
Cybertruck. Okay, this
Starbucks.
is so funny to me. She calls the paparazzi on herself to have them take a video of her getting Starbucks and then getting into her Cybertruck. And they're just now like sending these out to people.
Yep.
This is an advertisement for Starbucks. It's an advertisement for Tesla Cybertrucks. And it's an advertisement for Kim Kardashian because she's also a product.
You know what they call that, right? Synergy.
Synergy. I feel like it just makes sense because she's like the human embodiment of a Tesla Cybertruck.
Yes.
She is literally a Cybertruck as a human.
Also, the synergy is perfect because she herself is a product in a corporate product. It'd be funny if she crashed on the way out. Whoops.
Like, who believes that Kim Kardashian like goes out to get her own coffee?
Nobody.
This is the first time she's ever done that.
She's like, what do I put it in? The D? The drive?
Also alone and undisturbed.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not
Also,
willing
I
to
love
believe
that Doris Day parking she got there right in front.
And this headline, Kim Kardashian looks tiny next to $100,000 Tesla Cybertruck.
I want a Cybertruck.
Getting a car
Dude,
just to
that's
look
my
skinny
dream
next
car.
to
I
it.
want a Cybertruck now.
It looks like a car that you would play on Final
It
Fantasy.
does.
Are people still waiting on these? Like, I know you got on the wait list if you wanted one like 5 years ago.
Just the second
more.
comment down says, if I poke her butt cheeks with a sewing needle, will it pop or just start to leak?
Ugh.
Probably both.
That's
Well,
rough.
we found out where her ass went.
Yep, it did.
What do you mean?
She took it out and then she put it back in again.
Yep. No!
Oh no, not the party. Okay.
I say you added an explosion at the end.
I did. Well, yeah, it's not that bad, though.
It's not that bad.
It's still pretty good.
I can
And
tolerate
made
this.
it louder. Yeah.
Alright, yep.
I'm re-triggering the Crisis.
Still lovely.
Because they earned like to get the whole thing.
Okay.
I felt bad about that. That was not good.
It's the end of an era where I was scared by these.
It's so hard to be a streamer.
It's so
How do
hard
I do this
to be us
every day?
I don't even want to dance.
Some days, Mary, when I'm done with work, I can't even listen to the Crisis Party theme and dance. I don't know how I do it.
Just a single tear.
Okay. All right. Tell what's going on with Emrata.
Emily Ratajkowski.
Who?
Emrata, Emily Ratajkowski, just clapped back at haters who insist on calling her a bimbo. She is never going to beat those bimbo allegations. She did so on TikTok with the caption, writing a best-selling, critically acclaimed book of essays only for people to still call you a bimbo every time they see some cleave. Short for cleavage,
Cleave.
of course. Yeah.
She was
Let's,
like naked on music videos.
Let's take a look at that video.
All 5 seconds of it?
Yeah, this.
Here we go.
All that work and what did it get me?
You should learn to just love the work for what it is, lady.
First comment, don't think I've ever seen a book not claimed to be a bestseller and critically acclaimed.
That is true.
Yeah, it's not exactly impressive. Another one said, your cleavage is amazing. Don't listen to them.
Like, is that the praise you pine for? Like, I love the intelligence of your cleavage.
Such a girl boss move. So I decided to look into what book Emrata has put out there and why is this...
I've never heard of this.
Why is this book critically acclaimed? Why is it a bestseller? She put this out in 2021 and it's titled My Body. Time magazine says it's smart and powerful. So here's the description. A deeply honest investigation of what it means to be a woman and a commodity from Emily Ratajkowski, the archetypal multi-hyphenate celebrity of our time. She's an acclaimed model and actress, an engaged political progressive, a formidable entrepreneur, a global social media phenomenon, and now a writer. Notice how that doesn't list the fact that she is a mother because she's not proud of that.
That's a really eloquent way to say she got sweet tits.
That's a really interesting
What?
observation. The fact that her being a mother was... Well, was she a mom in 2021 when the book came out?
Yes, I believe she was.
Okay, it would be very... Okay, I would like to know for sure whether she had her child yet at that point. Not mentioning being a mother at all is a really bad sign.
You're a multi-hyphenate, but don't mention that you're a mother in all of those hyphens. Rocketing to world fame at age 21, Ratajkowski sparked both praise and furor with the provocative display of her body as an unapologetic statement of feminist empowerment. The subsequent evolution in her thinking about our culture's commodification of women is the subject of this book. It's a profoundly personal exploration of feminism, sexuality, and power, of men's treatment of women and women's rationalizations for accepting that treatment. These essays chronicle moments from Ratajkowski's life while investigating the culture's fetishization of girls and female beauty, its obsession with and contempt for women's sexuality, the perverse dynamics of the fashion and film industries, and the gray area between consent and abuse.
There is obsession.
The gray area between consent and abuse.
I would love the explanation on that.
That was an interesting point, though. There is like an obsession and then also like a betrayal.
Explain.
With women's sexuality.
With hot women.
That is notoriously the Madonna horror complex.
But we talked about this off air the other day about the porn star who committed suicide. And there was a large discussion about the amount of men who would talk about both, looking at her videos, but also detesting her and being judgmental of her in death. Right. So there actually is a fair discussion, at least online, right? Wherever you go to find this stuff, Twitter is the last place in the world you want to go to find rational discussions about these things. And obviously that's a far more extreme example than somebody who's simply, I also saw that she was singing recently.
Really?
Yeah. At like a Charlie XCX show.
What? Okay. Add that to the multi-hyphenate list.
But I think there's a discussion to be had there, though perhaps it's not relevant to her example. I think there is a commodification there.
Okay, but how are you going to lecture us about how women are commodified when you are the one who commodified yourself?
Exactly. Yep.
Also, audience who read the book chose some quotes here to feature. One is, "The world celebrates and rewards women who are chosen by powerful men. Beauty was a way for me to be special. When I was special, I felt my parents' love for me the most. Feminism is all about choice. I reminded the world, so stop trying to control me."
Nice.
Yeah,
Real deep stuff.
I think that what's interesting is like, this isn't meant to be judgmental of all women, because we're talking about a very specific group here within Hollywood, which, you know, there's a lot of narcissism, as much as that word is overused these days, within the Hollywood sphere, right? Like, there's all this really, really eloquent writing women do when it's in relation to themselves.
Is it eloquent or is it just verbose?
I think I used the word verbose off air, but depending on your take on it, right? I would call it verbose. Women who agree would probably call it eloquent, right? And they seem to be very good at coming up with a lot of rigmarole to describe how they feel about themselves and what is done to them. You don't see a lot of it outward, though.
What do you mean?
Like you don't see a lot of that same language from them when talking about issues that don't affect them.
I mean, this is best. The best example of this is Taylor Swift. She is incredibly verbose and eloquent when she's talking about herself, but challenge her to write or talk about literally anything other than herself and her own personal experiences, and she's not really that exceptional.
I mean, that's not a problem for her job, because she's found her niche and it works. So that's perfect.
I mean, I think that what she's describing here, though, Emrata, she's describing all of these exchanges she has made using her sex appeal, and kind of gambling with her sex appeal to get resources and power and money. And she's blaming the world for it instead of herself.
I mean, self-important stuff aside, because I think that's like mostly what rubs people wrong, I'm assuming, about her reaction to this. I do think there is like some weight in that. Recently, it may be an online thing. It may be a terminally online thing more than anything. That, like, beautiful women in particular, like, really more so than ever in my lifetime, are bearing like a lot of hate online. And I wonder if it's because, like,
facing down a lot of hate online.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's because people see like girls and like 20-year-olds in OnlyFans buying houses and they can't afford rent, and they're like, well, she was just born that way, blah. And they get their ire that way. Yeah. But I don't know, like, I feel like there's some weight to the argument of the hate going her way. I just always get annoyed with the fact when these type of women act like they're just like passive people.
The world happens to them.
Yeah, the world's happening to. They had no say. That's why I get upset with the whole like Kanye's wife. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, he dressed her like a." You think he really put the shirt on?
I'm an empowered feminist, and have total control over my body and my sexuality.
Yet.
Not this.
However, it's still everyone else's choice to sexualize me. I'm not a sexual object. And by the way, when we were making the thumbnail for this, there is literally a photo of her smearing spaghetti all over her tits. And I'm like, of course people are going to call you a bimbo when you lead with your sexual appeal rather than your intellect. And it reminds me of Megan Fox. I think that this might be worse than Megan Fox's feminist poetry book. It might actually reach that level of stupidity. But there are these incredibly beautiful women who cannot handle the fact that people notice that about them first. And they're just desperate to be seen as anything other than their appearance. They are desperate to be seen as intellectuals, when in reality, they're just kind of average. Like, I bet, Megan Fox, she's definitely smarter than anyone as beautiful as her needs to be, but she's definitely not some kind of public intellectual.
Yeah. The other thing that I find interesting is the timeline for most of it, which is like back in the day, the women would have to endure a certain amount of objectification to be successful in their industry. Sure, right? And then down the line was when they would criticize it. as they got older. Now they simultaneously be objectified and criticize it at the same time. Timeline-wise, that adds to like a lot of cognitive dissonance, I think.
You have to eat your cake. Have your cake and eat it too.
Whereas,
have your cake, meaning sexualize yourself for resources and money and power and influence.
Correct.
And then eat it too, meaning you get to complain about it.
I just think there's something beautiful of when our betters like don't engage in victim culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's objectively better looking than probably like 99.999% of like humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And if she, I don't know, was just like charming about it, like no one would ever. She would probably even write a book about this, and people would be like, "Yeah." I've never really pondered like how. Yeah, Sydney Sweeney has
other than the one comment about not being able to afford her house. That seems to be the only comment I can recall where she came off that way. She seems to embrace the fact that she's beautiful. She did have,
but then like you even justified it in a like a logical way. I was like, yeah, you're right.
She did have that one comment where she's like, when I was young, I was like made fun of for having big boobs. I'm like, get big boobs. They make fun of you.
Thing.
Yeah, small ones, they make fun of you. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what to tell you. You know,
you just tell me I was so shapely. Like,
yeah,
okay,
like it's interesting. And also this stuff is marketed towards women and women's discussions. So us critiquing it, however tepidly, puts us on the outskirts of something like this where we're not I think I saw Mao Attack in the comments say like, you're the target demographic for this and you guys are eating it up. Yeah, we're having a discussion about it, but
we're not buying the book.
Our discussion for this is the byproduct of what it's doing for her, which is selling it to people that actually agree with her. Mm-hmm. And to more power to her. If there's a market for it, people are going to buy it. So whatever. It is, however, funny that when you're like, if you want to be seen that way, sometimes you can't. I mean, for the most part, you can't control how people see you.
I mean, but you can take certain measures, and I'm just looking at a woman who has broadcast her naked body all over the internet, essentially, and is smearing spaghetti sauce all over her tits while screaming, "Stop sexualizing me!
Seriously,
Stop sexualizing me!" Like, it's just enough to make someone go crazy.
And I know I'm Captain Irony, but like, I seriously mean this question. It's like, at what point will feminism and accountability not be at odds?
That's a good point.
Because feminism should be accountability. Because like with the claim for equality comes like or whatever, like comes responsibility of and that, by the way, that would be probably.
That will never happen.
With great female empowerment comes great responsibility.
It will never happen because most of feminism is built off Marxist ideology, which is oppressor versus oppressed. So when that is the baseline foundation of I mean, obviously not at the beginning, I'm saying the concept of it is Marxist in nature, meaning that men are oppressing us. Now, the first wave and second wave feminism might have worked towards equality. Past that now, with such an underlying nature behind the idea that men have oppressed you, you will never fully release yourself from that. It will always be there as either and perhaps it's true in some cases, but most of the time it'll just be an excuse. I don't know.
Yeah, I think she's also bought into this Marxist view that she's not actually even objectively beautiful. It's just men have arbitrarily decided that she's beautiful and have scapegoated her for it.
Russell in the chat
just bizarre
has
that,
a very interesting question. It says, what type of sauce was it? Meat, garlic, or maybe 3 cheese? I think it looked like meat sauce, but I'll have to do some more. I'll have to study more later. I
think it was ragu.
It could have been ragu.
Maybe vodka sauce.
Prego.
Emily Ragudkowski.
Christ.
Perfect. Yes. All right. Let's. What would you guys like to see? Would you like to see cringe of the day or cute of the day?
I always like to start with cringe first.
Okay.
Let's start with
cringe. All right. As Dane asked us if we had seen this earlier, let's watch this fantastic video. Get ready, guys. Here we go.
It's too much for me. Do that.
It says, my reaction to Taylor Swift singing Exile, also known as the song that saved my life. I could not.
Are they outside the stadium?
Yeah, they are the
Please
people
don't play
who
that.
couldn't afford the tickets, and they're sitting outside of the stadium. If I were her friend, I would not be able to hold my laughter in.
The fact that they're filming it proves that it's not real.
Yeah, but also,
filmed.
like, Do you think that Taylor Swift specifically wrote this song for you?
Well, I mean, you can have songs that speak to you or songs that were important to you at certain periods in your life. But again, the point here is that
this is not a real emotional
She filmed it.
reaction.
Yes, exactly.
But even so, this is like profoundly mentally ill.
She's acting like she just received news that her entire family died in a
That's
plane
what I
crash.
mean. Like, if it's a performance, it's mentally ill. If it's her genuine reaction, it's mentally ill. Like, this is concerning,
filmed or not.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and oof, like I truly wonder how people like this are gonna be equipped to deal with modernity and society.
They're not. This is the reaction. Oh, here's another horrible video of Taylor Swift attempting to dance.
I'm gonna mute it, guys. I apologize. I don't want to get dinged.
Okay.
But this actually, her dancing is even funnier without the music.
They're like, do people actually pay to see this? Like, who choreographed? Just you're stomping on the ground.
Better than me.
Wait, I have to. This is my favorite pause of all time.
It's nice. But
Objectively, not the best dancing. But that's not why
People see her.
That's not why people go to see
Correct.
her.
That
Really.
is correct. All right, let's go ahead and do some cute of the day. We got a bunch here for you guys. Let's get started. This one's from.
let's get started.
We'll do two or three today. It says don't get to catch y'all. This is from Blooming Sakura FE on Twitter. Says don't get to catch y'all live, but I wanted to share my family's pets. The newest member, first and second picks, is Mochi, and the third pick is from back when we have Rebel, Emily, Willow, and Sophie. Sophie is Emily's mama, and the last two is Zabuza.
Zabuza?
I like the name Mochi. That's cute.
Yeah.
That looked like a raw chicken. I'm sorry. The gang's all here. Aww.
There you go.
I'm terrified of snakes.
All right.
They're really cute.
I feel like
Look
one
at their
killed me
faces
in
up
another
close.
one.
This is from Devin Salmon. Says I'm making new friends today on the job. This is Zuba.
Cute.
Let's do one more. I love this one. I say this is from him as well. Master has presented Emma with a sweater. This is my brother-in-law's dog, Emma. She gets cold sometimes. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't actually support putting clothes on pets. I, however, do support this one. This one is awesome.
No, when they're very little, sometimes they need
It looked wizard-like. I thought he was gonna. He looks like a wizard, and I'm here for it.
He needs a little coat.
I like it. All right, guys.
We found an exception to the rule.
We did. All right, guys. Now that we are, we're 48 minutes into the show. Let's go ahead and get started. Mary, tell us what's going on with Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis just made his comeback to the stage of SNL after he was fired by their team back in 2019 due to resurfaced clips of very problematic jokes that he made on podcasts. And I think that this is his official victory lap over SNL, which is failing. And it's proof that maybe in general, when something doesn't work out for you and it looks like a door is closing, it just means that another door is going to open for you in the future.
Every time that's happened to me, it just hits me right in the face.
It's a nice underdog story.
It is.
Right? So a lot of the media is misrepresenting the way that this monologue was received.
There's ridiculous
to say the
here.
least.
There's ridiculous cope here from the media.
Shane Gillis opens SNL hosting gig with several jokes about Down syndrome 5 years after his infamous firing. Another said Shane Gillis bombs on SNL with Down syndrome and gay jokes. Another one said, Shane Gillis asks you not to Google him in cringy SNL monologue.
So,
they're determined to make you think that this guy bombed.
But here's the thing. The jokes were funny. However, it wasn't that warmly received by the audience.
I thought it was perfectly. I mean, some of the audience laughter seemed a little bit manufactured. I don't know.
I mean, a lot of you guys in the chat were saying, like, who watches SNL?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I didn't see this because I don't watch SNL, and
Good for
nobody
you.
does anymore.
I thought
so.
that-
I wouldn't know what's normal for a monologue, but
He definitely. Okay, so here's the thing. He started off shaky. He was definitely nervous at the beginning, but he recovered it pretty quickly. And I thought, look, his humor doesn't really lend itself super well to PG television.
No.
Right? In general. But he recovered quickly, and the way that he told the stories was well done. I didn't think that there was there's nothing in that performance, if you're not biased, that says he bombed. Nothing.
yeah, I mean, definitely were panning to the band members in the background who were looking very bitter.
I do have this. Let's. I don't know if I can play the audio, but here's the clip of the girl in the background. She's fantastic.
She looks like she's a child.
She's
Whose
like,
daughter is this?
Not funny.
Whose daughter is this, and how did they get her on SNL? I have seen her before not laughing, like at Dave Chappelle's monologue as well. Someone said the band behind Shane Gillis not laughing at all makes this hilarious opening monologue even funnier.
I love Shane's podcast, Man and Shane's Secret Podcast, I think it's called. And his mystique is that he's a bro.
Yeah.
Like, he chugs beers, he likes hot women, likes cheeseburgers, you know what I mean? Like, he's a bro. And SNL, I think it's like theater kid energy. You know what I mean? It's like theater kid, debate club, yada yada. And I think in a way it offends them that he can do both. That he can play a character and also, you know, be a football player.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the divide is. And also, but before the show, we were talking about that this is kind of an annoying subject to cover, and it's because everyone's so terminally online and partisan that you either gotta say this was the second coming of Christ or the worst thing that's ever happened.
Yeah, like, as per usual, the I guess right side of the culture war is overly eager to claim a victory where it doesn't exist, or claim someone as being on their side when it's really just a comedian doing his job and trying to be funny and recover from being canceled. Like, he's not right wing in any sense of the word.
He is.
I saw people arguing about whether it was okay to take your kids to Disney World. Like, if you're boycotting Disney but your kid wants to go to Disney World, and I was just like, bro, it's terminally on. If your kid wants to go to Disney World, take your kid. Like, I've been the same on all of this. Like, I just don't care about boycotts and stuff like that. I also don't care about culture war.
People were all too eager to be like, this guy just shifted the Overton window, pop the champagne, it's over for the SJWs.
We're so back.
Like, we're so back. And Bertman tweeted, Shane Gillis said, the R slur on SNL, we're so effing back. Another one said, Shane Gillis bringing back calling things gay and R-worded on SNL like we used to do back in middle school. Let's go.
Time only moves in one direction, folks, and it's not going to get better.
I mean, I do see the positives of being able to say delicious words again.
Those words, that is a Twitter take, and it's still going to be considered inappropriate for you to say that out in the
that won't
But
stop
these things change very slowly, very incrementally, and the culture will ebb and flow in either direction, and maybe this is a sign that we're going back to the same kind of environment it was in the 2000s. But I think that it's kind of spoiled by the context in which he used the R slur, because he was telling a story about his sister's kids. She has 3 adopted kids who are black, and she has 1 child of her own who has Down syndrome. That kid with Down syndrome was getting bullied on the playground, and he tells this story of how the 3 adopted kids who were black came and beat up the bully, and that's the context in which he said the R slur. And then he said like the bully was white, and he was like, yeah, beat up that cracker. And that's right when the audience of SNL, it feels safe to laugh at it. Someone said,
and he also he uses the, I hate being like this, the R slur. He uses it in
YouTube.
I know it's not anyone's fault, in a self-deprecating way, because the joke is everyone says he looks like Uncle Shane. So like he in a way looks like that.
Sure.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah. So, but he had to do it in a way that's like, it's not punching down. Like, it's very humanizing. It's very empathetic. And like,
as a comedian, to be able to do that.
And what I'm trying to say is he was smart because he was playing the audience. Like, even though he was trying to push it to the degree that he was pushing it, he was cognizant that it was cable television to awfuls. Like, he knew that that's who he was making the joke to.
He's like playing both sides.
This was a list of some of the headlines again to point out what the media said. Hold on, there we go.
Love Chair.
Shane Gillis returns to Saturday Night Live and bombs opening monologue. SNL host tells audience not to Google why he was fired. Open monologue by addressing getting fired. So the whole point is that they want you to not look. They want you to just assume he failed because it helps them on their side of what they would deem the culture war.
Sure. Yeah, but I'm just saying
Boring.
This guy is not the second coming of Norm Macdonald, and you shouldn't hype him up to be that.
He's super funny. And what I'm saying, and again, if you watch his podcast, which I think, by the way, is like the #1 Patreon anything right now.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, he's killing it. And he himself is legitimately funny. However, him being on, I just hate that we validate dying media so much. They're lame.
Yep.
They suck. We shouldn't care that
he was even on.
Yeah, that he's even on. They're so lucky that he graced them with his presence. Yep. And I feel like everyone is misguided when it comes to this culture war stuff.
Well, it's a nice turn of events that they came crawling back after they did him dirty like that. And it's nice to see that, at least in that sense, there's a shift going on in the culture where you actually can recover after being canceled. And 2019, 2020 was like the very height, I think, of cancel culture, and it's been declining ever since.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I did notice that he played it safe, and he had to because he's relying on the establishment medium. Phil said that was a laugh of relief. It was something the crowd was allowed to laugh at.
Right.
Another one said he knew they would like it. That's what makes it ironic. Even throwing in cracker for more applause. It's twisted, but it's genius. He told a woke joke so he could squeeze in a couple of no-no words and pull one over on the normies. Quite brilliant.
But this is what I mean, like brilliant. Like it's a joke.
Oh, they were being sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
They were being
Thank
sarcastic.
God. Thank you. I didn't catch that at all. Sorry.
Yeah. But I'm happy for him that he's had this comeback.
Yeah, I mean,
and that he proved to a lot of people that you don't need the establishment media to prop you up, and he made it on his own.
I'm just glad he's rich and he's way funnier than any of these people, and he makes skits and they're way better than
we didn't even get to that. So they're actually the funniest skit that he did in the whole thing was the Limu the Emu skit that was making fun of Liberty Mutual, and that wasn't even aired. It was way funnier.
Oh, really? Why not?
That one wasn't on air from what they said. That was the only one that I like. That one, and I like the one about sports betting, about gambling on your friend's gambling addiction, which I thought was
I just
hilarious.
watched the HR skit and
I didn't see that.
I just didn't. Maybe it's just SNL is the problem. They're not good.
Obviously. Yeah, it's obviously.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's go to Super Chats.
Shane H. Wilder said, "Happy Monday, Brett, Mary, and Dane. Every woman font. I dropped a little video on how I make memes and shorts. Curious crisis actors should watch it after the show. Oh, and the new Avatar sucks." Agree. It just has this very globalist entertainment vibe.
As is just about everything that comes out of America these days.
I haven't watched a single Avatar, and I'm really proud of that.
Pat the plumber said, "You guys are so brave."
Oh, thanks. That was because we were talking about how difficult our job is. And you're right. Thank you for noticing. Like, what the problem is that when you have a job that's as difficult as this one is, sometimes you go a day without somebody telling you how hard it is to be you. And that just makes it really hard for me to, go on, right? I wake up every day and I'm like, I got to go in. I've got to open a bunch of news articles and I've got to read about them. Then I've got to make a thumbnail and then we got to do this stuff. And I don't know how I do it. I mean, I would much rather go work in the mines, but you know what? This is what I'm doing. So thank you for noticing.
This is just our lot in life.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Shane H. Wilder said, "Wow, so much good material in the first 5 minutes. Thank you guys. You just made my job easier. LOL. Remember, I do it out of love or stupidity."
Well, buddy, that's why I do this. To make your job easier.
Bucky Ducky said, "Don't hate on my slightly coffee flavored milkshake."
Let's hold off on the rest. And
Let
come
people
back.
enjoy things.
Exactly.
Let me enjoy my adult milkshake.
Let's hold off on the rest and come back after the fact. Mary, tell us what's going on with Chrissie Mayr.
Chrissie Mayr just got attacked outside of her comedy show in New Jersey the other night, and she tweeted about it, saying, "After my comedy show tonight during the meet and greet, some cowardly F word, I'm assuming, pepper sprayed me and the area, sending many of us into coughing fits, teary eyes, and running for the doors for fresh air. It seems everyone is okay. We're still trying to figure out who did it and why. Just a really effed up thing to do in a crowd, which happens to include a very pregnant woman. The worst part about being pepper sprayed after my show is that they waited like an absolute pussy and pepper sprayed me after my show." And this is, I assume, because she said something that offended somebody and they decided to become violent about it in response. And there's still no sign that they've been identified. We don't know who it was, but safe to guess it was some, triggered SJW. There needs to be a better word for that.
Yeah.
I mean, she used it. She used the better word for it, but I can't say it on YouTube, okay?
Yep.
And she did actually get in trouble for that. Someone responded, "No one should have to go through that, and that person needs to be found and charges pressed. But was the F word comment really necessary? I get she's upset, but it makes her seem homophobic, which isn't helping." And she said, "Yes, it was necessary. It helped get my point across." Absolutely true.
Goff.
And he said, "But it makes you seem like the bad guy being a homophobe when they're the bad guy for doing this. I'm guessing it's a homophobic joke or two that triggered them into this attack." And then she said, "It's not my job to tiptoe around the mentally ill."
Based. What a great
I
answer.
love Chrissie Mayr.
What a great answer.
And it's like, she definitely could go on a rant about how
or ignore
she's such a victim and she can't tell jokes, but like, she's so resilient and just takes everything in stride, and she's really funny. She said, "Maybe I'll try to squirt breast milk into my eyes."
See, I thought maybe, I heard that spicy foods induce labor. Maybe they were just trying to get her to go into labor so that she could have the kid right now.
She is extremely pregnant. I'm not sure
she's
exactly how far along she is, but she is.
I like the descriptor. Extremely pregnant.
She is imminently going to give birth. So I just think it's really disgusting that they would even put a risk on someone's and someone in their child's life like that. And their health.
It shows you just how blinded people are by the anger that like culture war issues seem to be bringing upon people. Like it short circuits your rational brain, and then they wonder like, how do human beings end up committing all these atrocities? Well, this lady says words you don't like, so they're going to attack her while she's pregnant. Gee, I wonder how humanity can be so weird and awful all the time.
Man, I gotta say, I super appreciate literally everything about this, because anyone that knows me knows that meeting me in the beginning, it's very abrasive. Like, I'm not.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm a naughty little boy. Like, usually when you meet me, like, talk to me. And honestly, it's purposeful on my behalf and on the behalf of people that are like me. It's because I refuse to deal with people that are incredibly sensible. And I'd rather them hate me and
sensitive.
Sensitive. And I'd rather them hate me and not talk to me at all.
Yeah.
I didn't find you abrasive.
I mean,
when we met, at least.
Well, it's because you're not.
You filtered it out.
Yeah. And you're not particularly like a weeping harlot either.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would never want to be called a weeping harlot.
I just can't believe
I thought you're not.
I can't believe that such drastically bad things would happen over jokes. And
what on earth did she say?
Yes.
That like that was the straw that broke the camel's back for someone? Like, that was their last straw, and they decided, I'm going to hurt an entire room of people right now.
And put a child at risk.
It seems like it was planned too, because like, I don't know, is that even allowed inside a club like that? You're not allowed to bring weapons into clubs like that.
And not just that. I mean, it made me think of like when the dude attacked Chappelle with the gun knife, right?
That was insane.
And a guy attacked Dave Chappelle with a gun with a knife fastened to it, like a bayonet. And then you wonder why we live in a culture now where people are afraid to speak. it actually does put you in legitimate danger.
I mean, the moral high ground is a really dangerous drug. These people are OD on it.
Like the idea, like there's nothing that a person like that loves more than the idea that not only do they get to attack you, but they get to feel virtuous while attacking you. The idea that anyone could be deluded enough to believe that attacking somebody pregnant is morally acceptable proves to you just how bad people's brains have been broken by what's going on in the culture war.
Like, it obviously wouldn't be acceptable even if she weren't pregnant, but it just makes it all the more repugnant that they did that. And it does seem premeditated.
And to a woman also. Like, I know, whatever, but...
Yep. And
simp. Dane is a simp.
This is not the first time this has happened. Like that somebody there was somebody attacked outside of her, like a heckler attacked someone outside of her show.
That was only
back
months ago.
Just a couple months ago, not that long ago. So it's proving that like they talk a lot about Chappelle. Joe Rogan talks a lot about how like he opened his comedy club because they kind of are the last line of defense for sanity in the culture right now. And we're seeing right now, there was just an article that Christian Toto put up the other day about 4 comedians who, at least according to the article, were listed as non-woke, had a show canceled in Seattle because they didn't like their...
Of course it's Seattle.
The Legion of Skanks people.
Yeah, so...
Dave Smith and whatnot.
I forgot Dave Smith was in that list. I always forget he's a comedian. I don't ever see his, I only know him in a political context.
That's like his shtick.
So like the idea that to do your job, which is to unabashedly go forth and say what the rest of society isn't willing to say, you're going to be put in physical harm. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, I've watched some for comedy and I don't even think it's that out there. Like it doesn't, for me at least, maybe I'm not the audience member who's going to be super offended, but her jokes don't push that far against the boundary to ever warrant such a response.
Well,
I mean, it doesn't matter what she said. It doesn't warrant a response like that. But like, relative to a lot of other comedians, I just don't think that I wouldn't pin her as the one who would piss someone off to this extent.
I mean, the Overton window is white women filming themselves weeping over a Taylor Swift song.
Yeah.
Like, so...
Do you think it was a woman that did this? Or do you think it was a man?
Probably a dude.
Yeah.
Cringy male feminist?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they do have violent tendencies. You do not trust a male feminist.
I bet it was the guy that I showed you earlier that was having the microwavable pizza and drinking wine and doing hookah with his cat.
Swishing his wine
Literally
around in his
him.
apartment all alone, filming his TikTok. Yeah. Definitely that profile.
I guess just for me, because I see about so many people who exist in this space, people get so mad at them online. And I just can't imagine, out of all the people that we talk about, and there are people that we criticize fairly heavily, though I'd like to think that most of the time I look at most of this stuff from outside of like Hollywood stupidity with box office and stuff like that. I have a fairly emotionally detached approach to most of the cultural stories that we cover. Like, I can't imagine anything like that enraging me to the point where I would feel the need to even raise my voice at them, let alone be physically violent with the like the Hollywood stuff. It's because I'm yelling at an institution. I'm yelling at a conglomerate of morons who keep making really, really easily preventable financial blunders for the sake of an ideology. That's enraging to me because there's something unobtainable about trying to topple something of that stature, right? Whereas a human being, it feels like you should be able to, even if you disagree with them wholly, no matter how much bigger of a platform they have than you, you're still talking to a person, and a person is somebody you can try to connect with one-on-one. So that seems like a place where I would find rationality, whereas like when you're screaming to the high heavens to a corporate structure, that's different. I can't imagine a person that would make me that angry that I would respond in such a way.
And she's so lovable too. I can't put myself in the shoes of someone who doesn't love Chrissie Mayr. Personally, can't relate. Also, talk about victim blaming, right? Like, these are the people who virtue signal all the time about how, like, how dare you suggest that a woman shouldn't wear a string bikini while she walks down the street. If she gets catcalled, it's the men's fault. You're a victim blamer. But now she's literally getting victim blamed because they're thinking, what could you have said that victimized somebody else that they had to retaliate in self-defense against your violent words? So yeah, just all around not good for my faith in humanity.
I also saw somebody mention like I mentioned Chappelle, and they're like, Chappelle's a fully grown man. She's a woman who's pregnant. I'm like, I wasn't calling them equal. I'm saying that job as a comedian right now is a dangerous profession.
For Dave Chappelle, though, that was an attempted murder.
Yes.
That was like straight up an attempted murder.
I mean,
so that was higher stakes.
Is technically, I mean, I think technically pepper spraying someone with a child would be, somebody said that could be seen as attempted murder or
Perhaps.
attempted double murder.
Perhaps.
Right? And that's the thing. Their brain is short circuited. They don't realize that what they're doing is a crime. One, because the local attorney general's not going to prosecute you anyways. They're just going to let you go. With no bail, you're not going to try. You're going to have to pay bail, but it's just insane. And every day, like whenever we do this show, I never feel like it's never rage outside of Hollywood and box office. It's never rage for me. It's more like demoralization and annoyance, but never rage. Never truly anger. Not in that way.
I think I'm past that too. I think I'm even past the demoralization.
I think okay, so now IRL, that's anger for me. Like a lot, like really evil media outlets lying about stories, framing somebody as a bad guy when like the story about the woman in the bike. Okay, so like those stories when they blatantly lie and mischaracterize something to stoke racial tensions, that pisses me off. That gets me angry. But nothing in this space that we cover, and that's probably why I haven't had a heart attack yet or a coronary, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that like, I don't see it that way. And I understand that there's a lot of people that will see correlations and that there's strong correlations between the evil that's going on in mainstream media with politics and what's going on in this area of pop culture. I get it. But to me, I just can't look at it the same way.
Yeah. I am officially calling on 4chan to find out who this is so that he can be reported to the authorities.
Okay. Well.
I think they're capable of it.
Oh yeah. They'll deliver.
Let's go to Super Chat, shall we?
Quite Blackpilled said, thoughts on Helldivers 2, Dane? Don't know why Kellen is so blackpilled on gaming. We're pretty good at rewarding great new stuff and trolling crap.
Sorry, I don't know what that game is. And I don't know why Kellen's blackpilled about gaming.
Are you blackpilled on gaming right now?
I'm kind of a person that plays a game to death. So usually by the time that I'm sick of it, like a new one has come by, and I already know what I like, and I don't really pay attention to gaming news and what. And again, like I'm probably the worst person to ask because I'm the human being that has to see IRL twice, wants to watch it and wants to like review the content that's being up and like do titles and make sure that we don't get banned even though we will someday.
Yeah.
So it's like there's nothing that surprises me like even remotely anymore.
I just I always wonder if like one day I still believe this all ends in a raid and we all end up in jail, but that what do I know?
Wait, you hope that
No, I
happens?
said I still feel that.
You feel that will happen.
Yeah, I still feel like that. I still feel like that's what's gonna. I'm kidding. I don't actually think that that's what's gonna happen. But
that's how the movie will end.
I do. Yes, maybe when Hollywood makes the movie about this place, the heroic FBI agents come in and take out all of the alt-right Yahtzees.
And I'll be the one who I'll press on my earpiece and be like, "Get 'em, boys!
Get 'em, boys!" No,
it's
you'll be
time.
What it is you'll be part of the raid with a mask on and you'll be in full SWAT gear, so we can't tell it's you like Paul Walker in Fast and the Furious 2.
Exactly.
Be good.
T-Dog said, "Idiocracy."
Oh no, sorry, first Fast and the Furious, not the second one.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
no
you
problem.
for that.
Jesus.
T-Dog said, "Idiocracy. I'll have some water. Water, like in the toilet. It's scary how our society is becoming more like this movie every day. Watch Spartacus."
Have you seen the recent trend of cooking in hotel bathrooms?
Yes,
It's
I hate
disgusting.
it. Put them down.
Like, I know that it's just trying to get rage reactions, but
It's not as bad as cooking in the airplane bathroom.
Now mashed potatoes.
I wanted that, dude.
that would get you on a no-fly list.
I wanted that. I wanted the FA, the flight cop to just be like, "Sorry, man, I got to put you down." Mm-hmm. Taser him.
Like they're boiling hot dogs in a jacuzzi at a
hotel. Put him in
hotel.
cuffs and drag him to jail.
I think that did actually get someone on a no-fly list, though.
Good.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Justice. Pat the plumber said, it's soul crushing eating at IHOP by yourself on a Sunday morning, but I do it.
At least you're not at Waffle House.
Let's do one more.
Tacty Platty said, Mary, are you kidding me? Taco Bell has cinnamon twists. Okay, that's not a
They
churro,
suck.
though.
They suck.
That is a sorry excuse for a churro.
They're terrible. That's why they give them to you for free. Or like
They're
69 cents or
okay.
something. No, they're terrible. They like hurt the roof of your mouth.
Oh, yeah, I hate that.
Let's hold off on
When I was vegan, I was like, this is so good.
Life isn't suffering.
Yeah.
Lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Guys, hit the like button, please, because our jobs are so difficult here. I really need you guys to hit the like button. Otherwise, I don't know how I make it through the day. So please go and do that. Mary, tell us what's going on with racist Taylor Swift fans and the evil white supremacist conspiracy that was the Super Bowl.
Yeah. There is a professor and BLM activist who recently woke up and chose violence. She gave us a public service announcement that being a fan of Taylor Swift is actually racist.
Well,
and
she thinks it's racist. She doesn't think it. She
not only
feels
that,
it.
the Chiefs' Super Bowl win was a white supremacist conspiracy. This woman's name is Melina
Nasheed.
Abdullah. She is, according to her bio, a professor of Pan-African Studies at Cal State LA, a Black Lives Matter organizer, a Pan-Africanist, a hip-hop scholar, a daughter of God, a womanist, a truth teller, and a mama.
What the hell is a womanist?
Don't ask me.
Wait, so
Don't ask me.
If you're racist, that means you're racist against another race. If you're a womanist, are you racist, or are you like sexist just against women?
A womanist is
It is confusing.
The hell is a womanist?
I got the definition. A womanist is committed to the survival of both males and females and desires a world where men and women can coexist while maintaining their cultural distinctiveness.
That doesn't sound horrible, but
Not
I'm
a
guessing-
feminist, maybe?
So different than a feminist.
Possibly based? Okay, so here was her tweet. Why do I feel like it's slightly racist to be a Taylor Swift fan? Just leaving it at that. Like, no explanation, no sources. That's just her instinct on the matter. And someone challenged her on it. They said, explain why you think that. I'm honestly interested. Not a Swift fan at all, by the way. You wouldn't want anyone to think I'm racist. She said, I feel, not think. Kind of like that feeling I get when there are too many American flags.
Okay, so this is a funny story. This is one of those times where early on I thought like this was a very early sign of the bubble of the right, which was like, I remember, I think it was Jack Posobiec saying like, why is it that every time I see somebody with an American flag, I just know they're a Republican? Now, on the outset, I get what he's saying. A lot of modern Democrats hate the idea of America, and there certainly is a pushback to really despise where you're from. But I'm also friends, and my last boss is close to what you could still have today as what you'd call a blue dog Democrat, loved owning guns, but was just politically unaware and didn't realize that the party she supported would be all too happy to take away her guns if given the opportunity, right? But flew an American flag outside of her house. It's a sign that they don't realize how not politically active a lot of people are. Right?
That's, I think, definitely a generational thing,
Yes.
because if you asked any like younger Democrat or liberal or progressive person, they are not into any patriotic expression whatsoever.
They hate it.
So I guess if she thinks that all Republicans are racist and it just so happens that Republicans are the only Americans left who are willing to fly an American flag outside of their house, then I guess that's a valid observation. And she also added, why do I feel like this was some right-wing white supremacist conspiracy? # Super Bowl. Boo! So she's also suggesting that the Chiefs win was, and also Taylor Swift's attendance. It was all a big white supremacist conspiracy. And this inspired a lot of outrage. Maybe some of it wasn't deserved. I mean, she's really just a rando who works at a college somewhere.
Yeah.
But I think that people are just tired of the sweeping generalizations.
Absolutely.
Just because Taylor Swift is white or because her fans are white, they're racist.
I mean, and again,
It's beyond parody.
not to pick up my lifelong rant about how professors are the worst human beings in history. You'll have 120 of them, and 2 will be good. And this is just another example that it's like people that live in perpetual childhood. Like forever. They go to elementary school, they go to middle school, they go to high school, they go to college, they get a master's degree, and guess where they work? College.
And then tenure if they can get it, which means they literally never leave.
They never
bubble.
leave.
Yeah.
And so they're perpetually in this
Yeah.
baby state.
And because the colleges get federal funding, they benefit from making all of these useless departments
Right.
and hiring all of these people that provide no value.
It's also funny because, like, for a lot of this stuff, like for people like this, we're talking about her like she's in a bubble. But I think more and more every day, mainly because of the internet, everyone lives in their own bubble and they just don't realize it because you're controlled by your algorithm now because of your phone.
Oh, I'm beyond that.
It's like when people dismiss, and it's a valid rebuttal when people say that doesn't matter, it's anecdotal evidence. Everybody lives by anecdotal evidence now.
Yeah.
So even in a world now where you can lie with statistics just as easily, what does it matter? Like what does anecdotal evidence matter? What does statistics matter if all of it can be manipulated by someone else? Right? So whenever somebody says, I feel this way, I get it. I get what she's saying.
It's her truth.
It's her truth, and she doesn't realize that she's trapped in her own ridiculously overly progressive bubble that she can't escape because it's constantly reinforcing what she already believes.
Look, I'm just saying, if you want liberal white women to support your cause, if you want liberal white women to come out and protest for BLM and donate and everything, you cannot attack Taylor Swift.
This is not the hill to die on.
This is not the hill to die on. They will turn on you for Taylor Swift. They will choose her every time.
Yep.
And someone responded with the actual demographics of Swifties. They lean female and white. Shocker. They make under $50,000 a year.
That was shocking. That part was shocking to me. I was
and they're
thinking these were
suburban
gonna be
millennials.
Probably because they're younger.
I figured these would
They're
be
millennials.
Like these would be like the like 75
What are you trying to say? Call me old?
150K. Like I figured these would be the 75 to 150K HR manager class.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know how these millennials are able to afford the Eras Tour tickets that are like $12,000.
You know what it is? They're the ones who are financing those pizzas when they order them for.
They're literally going to be in debt for life because they went to the Eras Tour.
Yes.
And then someone responded jokingly, literally everything is racist. And she said, indeed. Like she actually means it.
And
She decided to double down.
And
fully.
I do want to point out, and this is not a very positive thing to think about. It's actually really depressing. They win either way because what they've done is, at least people who live in this sphere, they've already made everyone critically conscious of race, which is what they want. They want you to think about it in all contexts all the time.
Actually, I think they benefit from racial minorities being conscious of race in that way.
No, they wouldn't,
and
because
having
white
white
people are
people
self-hating.
remain
White people are self-hating.
unconscious of race or only conscious of race in the context of self-flagellating.
You got
that's the
true.
same
You got a
thing.
stink bug right here.
Wait,
in the headphone itself.
There's a $20 one here
Scrolling
from
down.
Pat the Plumber. It says, Dane, how effing dare you? I thought you were cool, SMH. Cinnamon twists cinnamon twist for life. You better hope I never plumb a toilet you use. I will Danny Glover you. I'm assuming you meant Bud. Yeah.
What did Dane do?
A little excessive.
He insulted.
They're not that good.
They're not that good.
You're allowed to voice your opinion.
Thanks for the $20 though.
Melina also added, here's the thing. When fake-ass journalists from right-wing outlets turn tweets into news, they spur actual violent responses from their idiotic white delusionist followers. Hashtag Taylor Swift has some racist fans. Hashtag doubling down.
Dude, this is why I think there's such sage wisdom in what Michael Malice says. Because I feel like this side of the aisle kind of like beats themselves in the chest. It's like, I want to have a conversation with people I disagree with and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I want nothing to do with them anymore.
Good point.
I want nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
And it's why I made my initial statement about like I'm somewhat purposely abrasive when in my language like choice and word choice when I meet people. It's because if you're offended, I want you to run away from me. Like I have no time to deal with you anymore. I'm 34. I don't care. I do not care.
So you agree? You think you're old?
Did not say that.
You're 34.
am-
You've given up. You've given up.
I am
But
middle aged.
I'm kidding.
Here's to Mary's point. This is not
Are
the
you kidding?
class. This is not the class you want to piss off because there is this story. This lady says, "Should I go to the Taylor Swift concert or should I get my kidney transplant. She had to think about it, which tells you everything. She got the kidney transplant, and it tells you everything you need to know about the serious nature of their devotion to Taylor Swift.
It's a very difficult calculation to make.
This is Tamara Gray, who was thinking about skipping her kidney transplant to attend Taylor's show Friday in Sydney, Australia.
Can't
Seriously.
that literally kill you?
In an interview with 9 News, Gray said she was heading to the arena when she received a phone call from the hospital telling her they finally found her kidney. To be fair, that is like hilarious.
The timing,
the worst time
though.
is that is the type of thing that will lead you to be like, God is out to get me.
Okay, but if you say no, you're going to be on the waiting list for another.
You'll die. You'll
literally.
you'll die.
Did she choose to get the kidney?
She got the kidney.
Okay.
She's been one of many people registered for kidney transplant in Australia, never thinking she would receive a donor. She was wrong. In fact, the 35-year-old Queensland mother said she has a kid, and she's like, maybe I should go to this concert instead.
I should go to the Taylor Swift concert and leave my child to be motherless.
Taking care of my progeny matters, but so does this Taylor Swift concert. Am I right? But she was wrong. In fact, the 35-year-old mother said she was at the Gold Coast airport waiting to board a plane for Sydney when she got the call around 8:30 in the morning. She said, I won't lie, there was a split second where I considered saying no to the kidney, but I'm not crazy. Well, the fact that you considered it even for a split second means that maybe you're not crazy, but it means that Taylor has a crazy hold over people.
Especially at 35, that's so young. You have your best years ahead of you.
Yeah, this isn't a 65-year-old or 80-year-old. Well, even 65 is too young to do that.
She's basically a baby.
Yeah.
A baby.
She's very young, just like Dane.
Yes.
Just like
Dane.
Dane.
I also wanted to share this voicemail that was sent to the professor in response to her tweet about Taylor Swift.
Here, let's listen to this, guys.
Hi, Melina. This is Ethan George. I'm from Texas. You're a joke. You're disgusting. You're awful. You're ignorant. You're what's wrong with this country. You're the reason we're heading in such a negative direction. How dare you throw out the racist ideas that you throw out on a daily basis? You're a fucking joke of a fucking cunt is what you are. I hope you fucking die. It's what you fucking deserve, to be so fucking ignorant and to spread the fucking negativity that you spread and infuse it into people's brains the way you do is downright disgraceful, you stupid fucking cunt.
Okay, that's not going to endorse the name calling, not going to endorse the death wish, but otherwise, this is the way that people are going to respond going forward if the discourse continues to be this polarizing and divisive. Yeah. This is how people are going to start to respond.
It's depressing that this is where we've come to, especially like in a country where we're like, it's just so unserious that we live here in the West, where you are in the most, crushing student loan debt and housing market aside, you are in the most prosperous nation at the most prosperous time in human history. You carry around a device that can tell you just about everything you want, unless that advice is the accomplishments of white people in your pocket. But other than that, other than Google Gemini, like for the most part, you've never been more blessed to be born at this time in human history.
This mega rich global pop star is the reason why the employees follow her around at Target. Yep. That is why she is at fault for racism.
Somebody says it's fake. Even if it's fake, the fact that it has to be considered possibly as real proves to you that we are in a ridiculous time in human history.
Yep. Let's go to Superchats.
Let's do it.
Cobra Commander said happy birthday to Ellen, the big 5-0. Is it Ellen's
in
birthday?
The chat? Well, happy birthday.
I thought that he meant Ellen DeGeneres.
No, I think there's I
was like, Ellen's got to be over 50, right?
Okay, here's the other thing. Did you see there's somebody sent me a message on Twitter the other day. No, I'm sorry, they tweeted online the other day about they got one of our hoodies and the logo's upside down.
What?
And I think her name was Jules, and I ended up I sent her a message. I was like, I sent a message to Jessica. I was like, can we do something about this, because this is insane? And apparently, because it's through Teespring, we can't do anything about that. So I was like, can you please send a message to Teespring? If they won't do something about it, we'll figure something out on this end because that's ridiculous. But
What if everyone's been receiving them upside down?
I hope so.
She tweeted like, "Did Ian make this thing?"
Oh no!
and then we're like, it could be an inverted world version of it.
It's it's the
upside down.
Australian PCC shirt.
Yeah.
It's a collector's item.
It's Ellen Thompson.
That'll be worth a lot
Happy
of money
birthday,
someday.
Ellen. It's Ellen Thompson in the chat. Happy birthday,
Happy
Ellen.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Kelhund said, 40-year-old movies getting sequels talk about a truly risky business. I will not be entertained. Shane H. Wilder, there was a movie betting site that I used.
Wait. So, Aussie Menace says, Brett not getting the joke about being broke is peak beta bourgeoisie. What were we talking about?
joke?
I don't know, but I agree.
Bro,
What joke?
What?
Get wrecked.
I don't get what you're talking. You'd have to give me a reference to what you're talking about.
That could be your gamer name, Peak Beta
We're
Bourgeoisie.
basically Wendy Williams. Like, we don't remember shit.
Yeah.
I would need to know what you're talking about to see if I actually am. I am, however, not the bourgeoisie.
But you will
You're
take
peak
the beta term.
Yes,
bourgeoisie.
I am. I'm both. Yes, apparently.
All
right.
That has to be your gamer name.
Shane H. Wilder said, there was a movie betting site that I used once in 2019. It shut down in 2020 since the theaters weren't open. I can't remember the name of it, sadly.
That sounds like it would be awesome.
Needs to
Except
make a
for
comeback.
I would not be able to. I can't bet, but sounds like it'd be fun.
Ben Ryder said, I told people from 2012 to 2017 that my life was essentially Office Space. Only Mike Judge film that's better is Idiocracy. Pop Culture Junkie.
Do one more.
Or sorry, Chifu said, I haven't donated in a while. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you as well,
Happy
my
Monday.
friend. Let's hold off on the rest. Let's come back after the fact. All right, what the hell is going on with Hasan Piker?
Yeah, self-proclaimed socialist Twitch streamer who makes millions of dollars a year, Hasan Piker, recently went on stream and said that he has it harder than those who work a 9-to-5. And it wasn't received well, as you can imagine. There is no way that he genuinely is trying to argue it's harder to be a Twitch streamer that makes millions of dollars
Can you play it?
than working a hard manual labor job.
Well, what he's saying is
Not
that
even that,
it drains his social battery. That's what it does. So,
All right, let's see what he said.
Here we go.
Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will.
Okay.
It's
Continues to sit in silence
It's
because
not
that's what
the-
Twitch streamers do.
It's not the. It's. I don't know if it's as bad as the one time where like the cart worker in New York City was getting this chip stolen by people, and he basically said like, "Why are you complaining?" Like
Dude, he's the king of shit takes.
about being ridiculously, disconnected from his own audience.
I mean, this guy, took the picture of him wearing the shirt that says "Make the rich pay" when he literally lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion. He's a Nepo baby because of his uncle Cenk Uygur. And doesn't have any empathy for actual working class people and thinks that he has it harder than them and lies about the amount of money that he makes, claiming that he makes doctor or lawyer money,
He's
which is
literally-
an absolute lie. Just ridiculous.
He's literally a dumb chick. Like he
Yeah.
acts like a dumb chick. Like a dumb hot chick, which he is. He's a beautiful chick.
Also,
But
he's
it's-
claiming that he's being taken out of context here.
You gotta stink bucket your hair this time. It's
What is going on?
I don't know. It's
Oh my
right there.
goodness.
Yeah, you
Okay.
got it. I just don't know how you could even. I mean, I don't know what kinds of jobs he's had. I can only speculate. But if you have ever worked 9 to 5 at like an office, and you know that 6 o'clock comes in or whatever, 5 o'clock comes in, and you want to desperately leave, but you gotta stay those extra 10 minutes.
And just the 10 minutes feels forever.
Yeah, because you know that if you are the first one to leave, everyone's gonna start talking mess, and that whole stupid rat race. And first off, you can turn off the camera before 9 hours.
Right, like no one's sitting here forcing you at gunpoint
Yeah.
to stream for 9 hours at a time. That's a choice.
I understand it may be optimal. You know what I mean? But
Maybe, but for most of them, like when I see clips of Twitch streamers, a lot of them are just sitting
They're eating.
there. They're eating, they're like playing with their hair. whatever, they're just scrolling TikTok or they're scrolling Twitter or something. It doesn't involve that much intensive work. And he's claiming in this longer clip that this is the same level of intensity as like giving a presentation to a board meeting.
Oh, to give the devil his due, he is a political streamer and he has made enemies, deservingly or undeservingly. And I mean, he is very famous in his own right. So I'm sure that a lot of people have taken him out of context, and it's been very soul draining to perhaps have a very, I mean, I'm giving him a lot of credit, but like maybe having a really good eloquent point and someone clipping him and, you know, taking him completely out of context. And that must be very frustrating.
There's a $20 one here from Cody Bedreau. Oh my God, our job, Mary. It's so difficult. How do we do it? Oh, it's just,
I think this is my last straw. Like, I can't do this anymore.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Okay, thank you for the $20. Cody Monroe said, has he ever worked a 9 to 5? Tell that to factory workers that streaming is more soul-sucking than their job.
And the long and the short of it is this is the same thing that happened when the woman was complaining about working 40 hours a week. Nobody wants to hear you complain about your job because everyone's going to assume that their job is worse. That's human nature, okay? However difficult your job may be, you do yourself a favor by not making it out to be something horrible, because people will have a little bit more, just a tiny bit more respect for you if you don't pretend like it's the end of the world because you find your job a little bit difficult.
Well, look, instead of acknowledging that, Hasan took this criticism and had a full meltdown on Twitter and totally spiraled. He said, it's wild how this completely out of context clip made its way to Twitter so fast. I was talking about how much a 9-hour stream eats away at my social battery and how I can't socialize after. Comparing it to my sales job before, I recognize how fortunate I am every day.
If he worked sales in real life, he was probably pretty good at it.
Do you have this 2-ish minute
I don't think I have that
clip? Because he posted the full context. I mean, if we really want to be fair to him.
You want to send it to me?
Let's hear him out. I just sent you the link.
Okay. Oh my God, I have to open a link. Mary, how do I do this job every day?
It must be
I wonder if he'll give us positions as well now that, you know, this guy's a commander. Phil's a commander. I wonder if we'll be cadets. Infantrymen.
No. Social battery wise, unless you're in fucking retail, it's very different. You're out of touch. I'm gonna die, dude. There's motherfuckers who are accountants in here and they're misunderstanding what I'm saying. A real job does not expend your social battery in the same fucking way as someone who did a sales job, a real job, okay? I'm telling you, as someone who did both, like 9 hours of constant performance and people pleasing taps you out from social scenarios. After 9 hours of that, I could probably do fucking physical labor. It would not bother me, but I can't fucking do more social shit. That's my point. Like,
okay, we got $20 from DCNC. He said, game time. Who am I? Adult film star and progenitor of OF thoughts. My first father gets off a murder. Second father becomes my second mother. Had progeny with a mentally crippled person. Named kid after a cardinal direction.
Kim Kardashian.
Boom. Bingo. Thank you for that.
Real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people-pleasing jobs would be very similar. Those are like, I think, customer service type shit. But like if you're an accountant or if you're even like in sales, my interactions with clients was limited, way more limited than like constantly having to do this for 9 hours with like a back and forth.
I like the idea that
I have to stream for 9 hours at a time.
That there actually is somebody who sets a schedule for him. Just doesn't know it.
Like you literally make your own schedule, and your commute to work is walking to the 5th bedroom in your mansion.
Quit. You're rich. Quit.
Yeah, he literally could quit. Like, if
You're
he
done.
didn't want to work for the rest of his life, he could definitely make that happen. And then he said, these people farm these stupid people on Twitter for $3 in Twitter as revenue with clips like this. Of course, I don't think Twitch streaming is harder than a real job, you dumb F. It's, however, better than whatever the F y'all are trying to do on this increasingly more dog shit website. Twitter absolutely is just straight up 4chan now. So many people's brains are cooked. One day we will study its impact on a generation of school shooters who grew up on here and Reddit, but it will be too late.
He made it about school shootings.
All anyone said is, hey, being a Twitch streamer is probably easier than a 9-to-5, and he started to accuse us of being school
Also, you might want
shooters.
to look at the statistics of who ends up being school shooters. Just as an aside
He just
of the accuracy of his point.
this guy needs to take some time offline. I think he needs to log off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
I think if that's having that much of an impact on him that he can't socialize anymore, 'cause I just don't relate to that because I don't see what we do as socializing, right?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't the same thing as us sitting around having a casual conversation. This is not socializing to me.
No, there's a performance element to this that's very different than... Actually, there are times where I wish the casual conversations could be captured, but the nature
Yeah.
of being live makes that impossible. The nature
Kind
of
of,
having to
yeah.
put on headphones and talk into a mic changes the social dynamic in a
So,
way.
like, after we're done doing this, there have been plenty of times where I wanted to socialize after, but maybe that's just a personality thing because I'm more extroverted. I just don't see this as draining my social battery because this isn't, like, social.
And I'm kind of the opposite, whereas, like, I'm not a super social person to begin with. So, like, when we're done, I don't know if I would notice a difference, right? Like, I notice that when I'm done, it's actually, like, if a show goes really, really well, that's as close to, like, the same feeling I would have after a really, really good day skating, right? Where it's like, I'm actually energized. I'm sore, but I'm energized. Here, it's like, I'm mentally tired, but I'm happy with how it went. So I'm in a really, really good mood. But the idea that you would even compare that to somebody working a 9-to-5 job, it's just, even if you find it to be a comparable one-to-one,
Yeah.
it's not going to win you any fans from people because the nuance is lost and there's
Just
no
because
reason
of the
to do
rich. Yeah, honestly.
Um,
And honestly, in fairness, I do think a lot of what he's saying is true. Like, truly, I think it. I despite
Just the
this,
wrong messenger.
yeah, I mean,
that's the
just the
problem.
wrong
It's like-
messenger,
it's
like
like-
the wrong way, and regardless of the fact that dealing with Destiny and Destiny trolling you ad infinity is like soul draining. I mean, it must rock being a millionaire.
It is. It's like,
You
it's
know?
like Kim Kardashian saying, "Just
Yeah.
work harder." Good
Yeah.
message. Wrong
Got it.
person to like. Shouldn't matter that who delivers it, but wrong person to deliver it.
Not great delivery.
Listen, my
either.
sex tape did not take off, and
I don't know, like, if this is just a nitpick, but, like, I hate how much he swears in his streams. Because it's like he uses those swear words as filler words because he's not actually that good at presenting information. And it's like, I'm just so angry at you that you don't understand my point yet because you're so dumb. And he's just, like, dropping F-bombs left and right. It makes you sound very dumb.
The
I don't know.
the whole thing is just it's just weird to me because I just don't find that the comparisons would actually work for most people. And for the average person working a regular job, they don't want to hear about what's difficult about your job because they're looking to you for entertainment, right? Like, we dump on television and movies all the time, but it is true that they work 12 to 15 hours a day and they put in long hours to make their crap product. But if the product is crap, nobody cares that you work 12 to 15 hours.
I don't know,
People see the
You
end
have
result.
to go see the Disney movie in
Yeah.
theaters because they worked hard on it. And
I
they
could
deserve
never.
your money.
I could never. I'm so absurdly grateful that I don't have to like go into an office anymore and be like, "Well, hey, Susie, how you doing? Oh God, that Trump, right?" Like, I'm
And
so
maybe
glad
I'm
I don't
just-
have to do that song and dance anymore.
Maybe it's also like this is purely anecdotal, but for me, I worked a lot of jobs that were not careers for, extended periods of time. But because skating was my focus at that time, I never saw them as soul sucking. But that does not mean that I did not acknowledge that I had coworkers who very much felt like they were at the end of the line for where they were. You know, whether you're working, like I worked at Target as in like the photo lab. My first job was pushing carts. I did apartment maintenance. I did medical supply delivery. All jobs where there was at least a couple people who did see their things that way, and acknowledging that that's a very real thing in the world. But for me, because I had something else that was my main focus, I didn't see it that way. But it's absurd to pretend like other jobs don't do that.
Well, the reason that Hasan is the wrong messenger for this is because as a socialist, he doesn't believe that hard work or having a work ethic is valuable.
Yeah.
Like, he does believe that we should all get to live off of government handouts forever, and that work has no value. It doesn't edify you as a person. It doesn't build character. There's no value in working. And he believes that none of us should have to do anything hard in life, and that's the way that society should work.
The other distinction that people were making here was, is streaming difficult? No, but is becoming successful at streaming difficult? Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
all right, let's go to Super Chats. Shane H. Wilder said, "We all love Chair. Chair is the best guest." Can we get a Chair cameo? Love
hi, Chair.
Hi,
How you
Chair.
doing, Chair?
What's up?
How you doing, buddy?
Silent, strong type.
Yep.
DCNC said, okay, I'm not going to say the rest of it because I don't want to get in trouble on YouTube.
Here's one from Jimmy Cobb. He says, "I will never feel bad for someone whose job it is to talk. Hell, I don't even respect the people at the companies I work for that just push a pen around." See, that's a very, very common thought from a lot of people. Like, you could say all day, like, "Oh, I do all this." It's like when Matt Walsh was talking about, it's like 40 hours a week is just a starting point. And they're like, "Bro, you talk on camera for however long a day." Not acknowledging that, look, he also has to do this, he has to do this.
He's also a father of 6 children.
Doesn't matter how much work you put into it. You can do 10 hours of research. You can edit all your own videos. It doesn't matter because it's not their job to understand all aspects of what you do. All they need to do is decide whether the videos you put out or the content you put out is worth watching. By trying to explain the other aspects of it to it, that doesn't ingratiate yourself to people. It just doesn't.
Well, that's also assuming that he never did anything other than what he does now, which, like, is not true. I listened to a podcast where he said he, like, delivered pizzas for years. So he knows, like, what it is to grind at a minimum wage job.
I don't know, but I also hate that boomer pull yourself up by the bootstrings bullshit. Like, shut the fuck up.
Fair criticism as well.
There is also, like, I find that the people that I relate to more, not because I'm necessarily the same as them, is like the ones who look for the solutions with their problems rather than harping on the problems. That just tends to be where most of my friends lie, because I'm not gonna say that my friend, the people that are going to complain about it are wrong. It's just, I always look at that and I'm just like, it doesn't benefit you to do that. Like, to sit there and complain about what it is. But I understand it. I get why you're like that, but it's just like the people, as cheesy as they are, the people online are telling you, I do this every day and I do this and I do this. It's like, as lame as it sounds, especially when it comes from a social media influencer telling you, I do all of these things in a day. It's like, that may be corny, but I still appreciate the mindset, even if it's lame.
Corey Anderson said, "I love the intelligence of your cleavage. That's the shirt. PCC approved."
Perfect.
It's coming soon to our Teespring. You'll get it upside down, though. Cobra Commander said, "I also love Chrissie Mayr. Her endorsement of women becoming sex workers proves she's our gal in before her fans say I didn't see that." What? Well, unironically, I didn't see that, but if she endorsed women becoming sex workers, then I disavow that statement.
There you go.
Corey Anderson said, "Nothing feels better than..." Okay, I'm not going to say that. Shane H. Wilder said, "What jackass pepper sprays a pregnant woman?"
An ideologically captured jackass who doesn't realize how insane they've become.
We may never find out. American Texan said, "Hello from a viewer that's watched every episode but doesn't subscribe because I don't want clips stuffing my YouTube subscription feed. Make mine Marvel."
Well, thank you. But the clips are how we grow the channel. So I apologize.
You can subscribe and not ring the bell, right? That would help. Shane H. Wilder said, "Is Weeping Harlot the name of Olivia Rodrigo's band in the All American Bitch music video?"
I don't even think
that would be fitting.
I don't even think it was the correct figure of speech. I was just trying to say that you're not They got particularly sentimental.
There's a $20 one here from Francisco Sanchez Jr. It says, to the PCC Therapy Fund, I know it's so hard to talk about Swifties, beehives, and Hasan Pikers. Yeah. It's
thanks for that.
For me, it's not that it's like the thing that I find difficult about my job. If I was to actually say it's that every day I'm like, look, I actually sound really, really dumb most of the time. So the effort I exert most days is to talk at a bare minimum where my sentences are coherent, and that's a lot of work for me. So it's so difficult being me.
That water bottle just made a very satisfying glunk sound.
Glunk.
I'm like the king of like unnecessary sounds.
Corey Anderson said, Mary, you are glowing today. Is there anything new? Oh, I don't know what that's supposed to be suggesting, but no, there's nothing new. Tacti Platy said, it's Taco Bell, not Churro Hut. YouTube suppresses super chats.
Stop suppressing the super chats. Also, like last week, I saw somebody saying like their comments were getting deleted in the chat. I was like, bro, we don't even have mods.
Also, like seriously. Also, tacos and churros. What would be bad about the combination?
Those things tend to go together. They
tacos,
do.
nachos, churros. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't do this. I would buy them.
The witness stand. I don't know. Yeah.
Organized Business Services said Taylor Swift is racist. Will Swift ever date a black guy? No, or is Taylor just a white B word and C word? I know and hate women like Swift.
I mean, she should start, incremental. I don't know. I had a joke. It didn't land. Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind. Disregard everyone.
Welcome to my life.
People do point out that Taylor Swift has never dated a non-white man. She has had a black man play her love interest in a music video, but
policing your dating preferences is insane.
I'm not trying to police her dating preferences. I'm just saying people have noticed. Pat the Plumber said our future is a mix of Idiocracy and Demolition Man.
Everybody should go watch Demolition Man.
I haven't seen it.
You should see Demolition Man. It's so good.
Have either of you seen Starship Troopers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Mary, let's talk about the politics of Starship Troopers. Let's have a long discussion about it.
For 9 hours, and then our social batteries will be run out.
I will be so tired.
Wait, so do you...
They ask you if
think
you're
I
okay
would like
and you
it?
say you are.
I don't know. I never get it right when I think about what you might or might not like. Watch it and let me know.
Well, that's not appealing.
Fair.
I want you to tell me whether I'll like it.
I never guess right when I think about what you might
I think
like.
so.
You think I would like it?
Maybe. You don't think Star Wars is insanely cringe?
But yeah, most of it was not bad, for sure.
I can't wait. Oh my God, Mary, this job, talking about Starship Troopers for 9 hours. How the hell are we supposed to make it in this world with that? I have no idea.
It's just so hard.
I wonder for somebody like somebody like that. I think part of it is also like when you do it for a living, it like makes it like. I actually am one of those people like. I liked skating. Like I hated the fact that I had sponsors sometimes because it would make skating feel like a job sometimes, which is just a really immature way of saying like, well, now that I get paid, like now that I'm, that I have to do it, I don't want to do it. It's not fun anymore. So it's like maybe like the idea is like if you really find that to be true, especially if you're successful, get a job, like get a regular job. It doesn't even have to be a full-time job, just as a matter of perspective and stream in your free time, and you might find that you love it again. For somebody like that.
Corey Anderson said, if Mocha smelled of olives, would she be derpy?
Mocha is derpy anyways. I might like her a little more if she liked olives.
Okay. I don't think the cats can eat those.
I don't think so either.
Sorenko Productions said, boo-hoo, I have pretty privilege and have no brains, but people listen to me for some reason. Life's so hard. Himbo Hasan.
You know that there's like a pastry company called Bimbo, and I can never get over it.
Really?
Yes, here in
Bimbo, they're actually pretty good. They're like they have a little they have a little bear that we would have those in Puerto Rico.
It's I mean it's not a store, it's a product. And
one of my best friends in high school, we would call him Bimbo because he was fat and like looked like a little bear. I love him.
Okay.
I don't know if he's not watching this, but I love you. Let's get a
fourth crisis party, guys, because our jobs are so difficult. Maybe we can get a fourth crisis party. That'd be great.
might stave off my mental breakdown.
I will not
my
have a
mentee.
breakdown. If we can get a fourth crisis party, I will totally not have a breakdown tomorrow.
DCNC said.
We already did that one.
Oh, okay. Corey Anderson said Hasan should try being in the military if he thinks sales is a difficult job. I don't think he would make it. Gotta be honest with you.
Most likely not.
Bucky Ducky said streaming is so hard. Cue an hour of Twitch streamers eating expensive food in silence.
Seriously.
They really do just be sitting there.
Yeah.
Hey, if they're
do
good,
not
I would do it
understand.
too if I was getting paid.
I guess, yeah, me too.
Maybe
But
that's my future here some days.
I hope so.
you're just gonna sit here.
and just react to videos on TikTok with my super lukewarm, like milk toast takes. Like, wow, that was bad. And then
That's crazy.
That's crazy. In between bites of food. That's I could do that for a living.
Yeah.
That might be my calling.
Frittatas and fence sitting with Brett Dasovic.
Yes.
You're gonna have to show some cleavage, though.
I can do that. that.
Shane H. Wilder said Hasan thinks he could do manual labor. Ha ha ha. I'm gonna go old school and say, dost thou even hoist, brethren?
Also, like, to be fair, like, people talk about how like loose the necks of my shirts are, so I'm kind of already showing cleavage anyways. Half the time, so.
You're showing a lot of neck.
Yes,
It's very scandalous.
very scandalous here.
I'm hiding my neck today. I feel like I'm choking. Joe Watland said, who are these people who get these sweet 9-to-5 jobs? Aren't they usually like 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. or 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. or 11 p.m. to 10 a.m.? That's my job, but I love it.
One of my
Good for you.
So the two of the jobs that I like the most is I worked overnights at a gas station. One, I liked it because it was like right off this main road, and my life was at risk some of the time because of the amount of bad shit that happened in that area, which it was awful, but it was never boring, right? And the other job that I had that I really loved was like I drove medical supplies. So some days it would be equipment, but more often than not, what it was like a pharmacy for people who could afford to like have medications delivered to their house. A lot of times like hospice care facilities or people who could afford to have medications delivered at home. So essentially you just drive around like a company Prius and drop
Pretty
meds off.
sweet.
And you would go around the whole state and, with like, and so it's like I wasn't paying for the gas or anything. So it's just basically drive and listen to music all day, which was perfect for me as a not extremely social person to do every day. I loved that job. Like
It does sound pretty nice.
I'm starting to wonder, like, this when and if this show goes up in flames, I might have to go looking for that job again. I don't know.
Bucky Ducky said, memes aside, things are difficult in different ways. It's fair to say your job is hard. He just lost everyone when he compared it to everyone else's jobs.
I think that is a very fair take.
Organized Business Services said Taylor Swift still acts like she's in high school. Note to Taylor, you are 34 years old. Please start acting your age.
Seriously?
Taylor acting 24 as a 16-year-old. Do you agree with that?
I don't know. Do you think that's true? I was going to say, Pat the Plumber says, Brett, that job must have been great for your addiction. Never did anything untoward. That would be, no, just would never do something like that. But, at that time, I was more reasonably in control of myself than I was later on. Mm-hmm. But never did anything like that. I don't know. Like, people talk a lot about Taylor Swift not having, not acting her age. What's she supposed to write songs about? Paid my bills, paid my mortgage.
She has people to do that for her.
The upkeep on my plane is so expensive. Like, that's
she
not
has people to do that for her.
That's not going to resonate with her. She owned her first plane in 2009. How is that even possible?
Her dad.
I guess. Like, was her dad that rich?
He was a multi-millionaire. He wasn't a billionaire, as some people say, but she definitely had a leg up in life.
Victor White says, I wanted to be a lighthouse keeper.
That sounds pretty cool because you get to live in it, right?
I'm rewatching a show called Haven, which I do recommend everybody check out. It's on Amazon Prime again. I love that all these streaming services are so poor now that they're all licensing out. Everything's getting licensed back to these places. It's awesome. And it's great. And there is a fantastic lighthouse in that show. You should go watch it.
Why are the stink bugs being menaces today? It's like they're following us.
They really are.
Okay, Tactic Laddie said, okay, Dane, but Taco Bell's tacos to real tacos are same as their cinnamon twists to real churros. I agree they're not amazing like churros. Same with their tacos.
Can I have a minute?
Yeah.
May I have a minute?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Guys. I get really insanely pissed off when people say it's not actual Mexican food or whatever. Listen, it's a taco. If you have a taco and you make it yourself, or you get some abuelita to make it for you, it'll be flour, it'll be meat, it'll be cheese, it'll be a vegetable. Probably lettuce.
Okay.
Just because a minimum wage worker is making it doesn't not making a taco, okay?
Yeah.
When you go to Chipotle, you eat rice, beans, a tortilla, and some chicken.
Yes.
You put some hot sauce in it.
Mm-hmm.
If you go home in Puerto Rico and you eat the exact same thing, it doesn't make it more authentic. It's authentic Mexican food. Get over yourself. Thank you.
I do like when they make that. Whenever you see the videos about white people tacos,
I'm sick of
Did
it.
you have to racialize tacos? Just shut up.
Okay,
It's-
but they are right. Like if you get just the like hard shell tacos and put nothing but ground beef in it, like that's not the ideal.
I mean, then it's the way you have your taco. But it doesn't.
True. It's still a taco.
It's still a real taco.
It is,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
It's not the best taco in the world.
Like, why doesn't Subway get like? Well, it's not a real sandwich. It is a real sandwich. You're just fetishizing.
Technically, the
my
bread,
culture.
Technically, the bread doesn't actually qualify as bread anymore, so I don't know if it's a sandwich because there's no actual bread.
Thanks, Brett.
What is it? That's what I want to know.
Not bread.
Okay.
It's like talking about the video the other day about the woman saying she took her date to Quiznos. Did you see this?
They have
No.
real bread.
I love Quiznos. I love
saying-
Quiznos.
Okay, you would love this woman.
Yeah,
then.
she's talking about unethical monogamy, about how she was paid by Quiznos to take men on dates to Quiznos. It's such BS, but I couldn't stop laughing. And I was just like laughing because it's like using Quiznos for your skit is hilarious because it's just so... I guess the only other one that would have been funnier is if she said Jersey Mike's.
You know, hotels have fake couples that socialize with people and sometimes get into
Ew.
sex capades
What?
to have people return and like sign up for timeshares.
I didn't know that.
So they're basically just escorts.
Yep.
Okay. That's not really... That's uncomplicated.
DCNC says the no true taco fallacy.
It's true. They're all tacos. It's
I
just-
love it.
Doesn't matter who makes them. Bucky Ducky said, Mary, read the Starship Troopers book. You won't get it, but read it anyways. Okay, why would I read it if I wouldn't get it? Why would I waste my time?
You're not selling her on it.
Yeah, you're not really selling me. DCNC said, Dane, can you say Puerto Rico in American? Jeez.
In American?
Yeah. The way I just said it.
Yeah.
Porto.
It's like Puerto Rico.
Go.
Puerto Rico. Dude,
The guy who says Colorado.
Colorado.
Wait, say simulacra.
Simulacra.
We just bully Dane about how he...
Dude, every time.
Oh, no, Dane, say bully.
Bully. Every time I'm at the poker table, just like, you know, doing my thing, and someone says like, I detect a little bit of an accent. Like, where are you from? I like take a deep sigh because I never know what it's gonna be.
A little bit of an accent.
Yeah, because I hate the como que, oh, Puerto Rico, oh, I love it. I went to the beach once and it was nice. Like, I was like, I hope it get anyway.
Most of me and
YouTube.
Dane's friendship was based on me making fun of how he says the word bully in the early days of working here.
Bully.
Yeah,
Gold bullion.
Colorado.
Brad bullies me.
DCNC, Gordon Shumway said Starship Troopers is usually on the reading list for military officers. The movie is nothing like the book. Even the director has said it wasn't and
book?
was never meant to be. The movie is terrible.
Okay.
A lot of people like the movie, though.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's a cult classic, right?
Yeah, a lot of people love them. Now everyone's arguing about whether they're simping for the bugs. Let's
What?
move on.
What?
Let's just move on. Let's move on.
What do you mean they're simping for the bugs?
That they're taking their side.
What does that mean?
It's like
No,
part
Brad,
of the-
we will not move on.
It's not
I don't
me.
want to move on. I want to know.
Go on the internet and look it up. Go on the internet and look it up.
Okay.
It's not me. I haven't seen the movie in years.
I attempted to the other day, and it says it's supposed to be about like fascism and like militaristic right-wing authoritarianism or something.
And well, basically they're saying, I'm not getting. It's too long. It's too
Whatever.
It's too drawn out. I'd rather. We'll talk.
All I wanna know is
love to
would I
talk to
like the
people
movie?
about Demolition Man, but talking about Starship Troopers just leaves me the idea.
I mean, statistically, no, considering your track record, right?
Yeah, it's fair to point out that like if you're gonna ask me like will I like a movie, I'll just say no because I'm more than likely gonna be right if I say you're not gonna like it.
That's true. Yeah. Yesh said, you're not taking your 4 p.m. birth control orally, Dane. Is there something you're not telling us?
I love that you guys like keep up with the old memes. Like that's an old one.
That is, yeah, that's for the OGs. High Voltage 75 said, Dane, can I get a Taylor Swift not hot Jordan Peterson style?
But she is. Taylor Swift not hot.
Sorry.
Like my daughter. She's super hot.
Otis Crinkle said, I think Hasan feels drained partly because deep down he still has a small conscience left and realizes he's a dishonest shill pushing dangerous ideas on impressionable people.
No.
Happy Monday, y'all.
No, like, and that's not to me. Like, look, I don't. I like, no, just. I don't think it's that deep.
Everything about that is wrong.
I don't think it's that deep.
I don't think he has any part of himself that questions, like, am I doing the right thing?
I'm sure he thinks he's right.
Bucky Ducky said, listen, it's a taco. Words to live by. Truly. Cobra Commander said, Dane is our Tico favorito.
We are almost at that fourth crisis party.
What does that mean?
I don't
You will
know.
validate how
I was hoping you would know.
You're going to validate how difficult our job is if we get to that fourth crisis party.
You mean
don't.
Chico?
Tico. It was Tico. I don't know.
Okay, thanks, bro.
I hope that's not a slur. Tacti
I hope
Platty
it is.
said Taco Bell is closer to Tex-Mex. Be sick of it. Traditional tacos are better than Taco Bell tacos. Yes, still tacos, but quality comparisons is my point.
Sure.
You're just not even gonna do a
I'm gonna have
like,
a cheesy gordita crunch. By the way, my wife just texted me. She cooked for me. I'm gonna text her.
Nice.
Give me a little bit less because I'm gonna stop by Taco Bell and have a cheesy gordita crunch taco because this is America.
And you're allowed to.
I didn't want to make the audience mad or anything. I didn't want to make you guys jealous, but I had one of the cookies that Dane's wife made earlier, and they were great.
Were they?
They didn't disappoint.
They were good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been eating so unhealthy lately. I was just like, no.
Me too, dude.
Like even more than
my
usual.
God.
You're starve maxing.
Like even more than usual. So, no, here's the thing. Like I'm gonna go be done with work and I'm gonna still eat unhealthy, but
Nice.
I'm gonna be able to justify it because I didn't eat that cookie.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
At lunch.
That's boy math.
It'll have made no difference whatsoever.
Yeah.
But in my brain it does.
In the spirit,
Yeah.
You triumphed.
Shane H. Wilder said the Subway bread is only not bread in Ireland because of high sugar content. Then again, most bread here would probably not be considered bread there.
Oh, okay.
They have higher standards. The Last of My Kind said Subway bread was proven to be technically cake.
It is the same consistency as cake. It really is.
It's giving pound cake.
I wonder if I could just be like, can I get a foot long of just bread?
Ham and cheese cake.
Can I just get like
It's like literally a ham and cheese layer cake.
That reminds me. I got the meatball sub from Sheetz.
What?
Wow. That's next
And you're
level
like,
self-hate.
I'll pass on the cookie, but that
What a confession. You're a monster.
after you get the taco, the Sheetz
What a
tacos
monster.
are really not tacos. And the
I
pizza,
did them multiple times.
Gross.
Now I do it just because it's funny.
Oh, dude, you know what I love? I
eating
love
toxic waste as a bit.
dude, I love gas station fried chicken, and I'm not afraid to say that.
The Sheetz meatball sub was actually good.
Dude.
And I just figure it's like well, at least I'm not eating the same place where Jared got rich off of. So it's
So it's
fine.
ethical
Yeah, it's
meatball sub
It's
consumption.
ethical sub consumption.
I'm sure children were harmed in the making of that sandwich as well.
It's very likely true. But yeah, that and the tacos. I get the tacos half out of a meme and half because I've trained myself to not hate them.
They're just objectively disgusting,
so
and I'm not
bad.
picky.
They're so bad.
I'm not picky, but those are actually not tacos.
No.
Not tacos.
What?
The Sheetz tacos, they are not tacos.
It's meat and there's a shell and
but
there's
it's weirdly
cheese,
no.
and there's
You
a
don't understand.
and there's
It's
a
not a
sauce-
taco.
And there's a sauce that just says taco sauce.
Not you, Mary. Don't be elitist.
It's weird. It's like an empanada, but they call it a taco. It's like it's sewn together or like glued shut.
If you only knew the debate about the word empanada.
Enlighten us.
I mean, no.
We could go all day. Okay. Not that Jon Stewart.
It's just it's literally the dumbest conversation about like what actually is an empanada, and I couldn't even begin to describe it because I don't It's
You
like
need to try the Taco Bell Crispinata and give us a review.
I'm getting
I will.
now. I'm getting more tacos after work tonight just because I can.
let's do it. Hell yeah.
Ew.
Honey, if you're watching,
Sheets. Somebody asked Sheets, a restaurant. Sheets is it's a gas station and a restaurant. It's a magical place where you go for all your unhealthy food eating needs, as well as gas for your car.
Needs.
Yes,
honey,
needs.
if you're watching, throw that lovingly homemade food away.
that
Daddy's gonna get some
there is
taco.
not real, says Coordinator. Yep.
Not Daddy.
Poppy, sorry.
Not that Jon Stewart said hostage party. Let's go. I feel like we're holding them hostage.
Yes,
at this
we're
point.
keeping
We
them
might
hostage
be.
as I talk about all of the gross foods that I unapologetically consume.
Do you have any more to share? Any more confessions?
I'd have to think about them at the time. Like
Okay.
I ate a cheeseburger at a Denny's recently. It was really, really good.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Yeah,
That's acceptable.
I love
it was
Denny's.
good. It was the nicest waitress ever, literally ever. Like deserved
I
a
don't believe that.
9,000% tip.
I don't believe that at all.
Would never happen at Waffle
Denny's
House.
wouldn't hire a nice waitress. The people go to Denny's to be disappointed.
Yes,
And
well, that's why it was so
and to
surprising
wait
that it wasn't. It was good.
long
But
for
the-
their food, and to ask their friends, like, "How's yours?" Is like, it's it's okay.
No, there's nothing wrong with Denny's breakfast. It's completely fine. Plus, my favorite thing about Denny's is, do you ever see the movie The Santa Claus when when he takes
The smoking section?
Well, nobody takes him to get breakfast, and he's like, "I'll have a chocolate milk," and he goes, she's like, "Yeah, we're out," and he goes, "Regular milk's fine." It's the saddest I've ever seen a kid look in his entire life.
Shane H. Wilder said, "Too much pointless nudity in Starship Trooper. You'd probably not like it, Mary. Honestly, it would
Yeah.
have been decent if not for that." Where would nudity fit into a story of like that?
Can you get the
Like-
app that takes the nudity out? That takes.
I remember nothing of the movie. Literally
so
nothing.
not worth the trouble. But why would Starship Troopers of all things have pointless nudity in it? I didn't see a single female in the trailer.
I want you to watch Demolition Man instead.
Okay.
Watch Demolition Man. I think you like Demolition.
I didn't ask about Demolition Man, but okay. Bucky Ducky said the bugs are communists. People are relating the left to the bugs. It doesn't check out, but they're doing it. Also, yeah, you'll probably like the movie.
I mean, no. Okay. Nothing.
All right. Unless you wanted to say some shit. Organized Business
And they're
Services.
pointing out it was co-ed showers in the movie.
I didn't see any women in the trailer. That's bizarre. Organized Business Services said now the SIPs like the bugs on Starship Troopers. Geez. What?
Say it again.
I don't even know what that means. I'm sorry. Cobra Commander said, Tico is a word for natives of Costa Rica. The joke was Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, same difference.
Based.
Sketch Therapy says Demolition Man is about Taco Bell. Well, yes, after they win the franchise wars, Taco Bell becomes the only fast food restaurant around, the only restaurant around.
That would be a good thing for
It'll
society.
happen.
Yep.
Shane H. Wilder said Brett orders the foot-long strawberry shortcake.
That was just rude.
What?
That's just rude. And
Why is that rude?
I don't eat any. I would not.
Would you get the foot-long cookie?
I would.
Yeah.
No.
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 It's not worth $5.
I wouldn't get I actually their double chocolate cookies, chip cookies were at Subway were really, really good.
I love the chocolate chip cookies.
It's been so long since I've been.
They are really good.
I haven't been to a Subway.
They
in
are
so
really
long.
good.
I was thinking about getting.
I just want
the
to show
foot-long
talking
cookie.
about fast food. Like literally, after I quit soda, I started
Same.
following all of these Instagram channels that just talk about like soda. I'm not even kidding you.
They're dedicated.
They
to
dedicated
talking
to
about soda.
like you can find channels that talk about like, oh, new exclusive flavor available only at this gas station in the
Can the
Midwest.
1000th episode just be us eating fast food like Hasan Piker?
I've been
and
wanting
then-
to do an eating
Let's do
show,
it.
but Brett doesn't like it.
Brett, grow up.
I'm not gonna eat.
Grow up.
Well, look at us eat.
No.
You can.
I need
sit
to be
here
on
and
that
watch.
episode when it happens.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, thank you.
How about episode 600? Is
Okay.
that a plan?
That a plan?
Got your.
I mean, 2 out of 3. Democracy, right?
Do we have the thumbs up? All right. Remains to be seen.
I'm abstaining.
All right, fine.
You owe me Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
No.
Pat, are you just
Yes, you
worried
do.
that you're gonna get judged for how you eat?
I took you to the
No,
airport.
I don't like the sound of people eating. It's gross.
We could like move the microphone away.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
We'll think about it.
Pat the plumber said, I don't. I don't know how to pronounce that. Are the best Latin food? Tell him, Dane. I have no idea how to say
What's
that.
the best Latin?
Pupusa.
Pupusas. Oh, they're banging. They're really
What even
good.
is that?
It's like flour stuffed with cheese, sometimes bean and meats.
It's all the same stuff in different shapes.
It's what I'm saying, brother. Like
It's all the same.
So what, how can you be? It's like a variation of flour and meat.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's great.
It's perfect.
Tacti Platty said, Dane, is it like the 2 types of quesadillas?
I don't know what that means.
There are 2 types.
There's 2 quesadillas within you.
Every man has 3 quesadillas.
Organized
There's the
business
quesadilla you
services.
show the world, and there's the quesadilla you only show your love.
nice.
You only show your wife.
Woo!
And there's the quesadilla that you show only yourself. That's the one you. There's
That's the real
there's
one.
too much truth behind the quesadilla. You can't share it with the world. It's true.
Even though you try.
No, it's too painful, man. You got to It's too embarrassing. You got to keep it to yourself. See, our job is so hard, Mary. How do we do this?
I don't know.
Seriously,
vulnerable.
you guys, you guys
You're-
will never understand.
Your quesadilla is too vulnerable. Organized Business Services said,
Thank you.
thank you.
They're validating us.
Thank you for the validation. It means a lot. It actually does. Organized Business Services said, I ate monkey brains once. Taste like nose snot.
Okay.
Specifically that type of snot that comes from the nose.
I once bought monkey bread from the grocery store. Have you ever had monkey
What?
bread?
What is that?
It's basically like it's
Brett is losing it
Yes.
right now.
Monkey,
It's like you think that the things you eat are so weird.
it's
Sometimes they are,
it's
but
basically just like sugary cake. Monkey bread.
Yeah.
You can buy it at the store.
not bread.
It's bread.
Corey Anderson said co-ed showers in Starship Troopers. Okay. Charlene Ferguson said, I'm super sad today for health reasons. Can Brett sing I'm a Little Teapot with the moves? It's weird, but I think it will make me laugh.
Do
so worth it.
it.
I
Do it!
No.
Do
Do
it!
it. I'll do it. I'll
This
do
is
it.
literally
Dane will
your
do
Make-A-Wish moment.
Dane, go ahead.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, and here is my spout. By the way, I used to do that with a girl in high school. I would make her dance that, and she would always do it.
Why?
I was a weird.
Okay.
young
Cord
man.
Wayner says monkey bread equals wet cinnamon bread. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Bucky Ducky said it's okay, Mary. It only shows boobs. You'll be safe. Look, sometimes, no, all the time, I don't want to just try to watch a movie or a TV show and just have boobs in it. Like, I just
That's
don't.
crazy. I'm the opposite.
That is crazy,
That's crazy,
Dane.
though.
That is crazy.
I love boobs.
I would have never guessed that.
It's wild.
But it's so unnecessary, okay? Like, when I watched Die Hard, it was just like, why are there boobs? Why? You know? I didn't expect
I'm never
that.
going to complain, but I get it.
It's
We
not like
suffer
I'm
in
even,
silence.
I'm not like disgusted. I just like I didn't ask for that to be in my movie. Okay. High Vulture 75 said Brett doesn't want to masticate on camera.
Correct.
Come on now.
I don't like the sound of mastication. I just don't, okay?
We don't ca-
Thesaurus day up in here. Okay. Very wide vocabulary. Tacti Platty said pupusas are a cheese and pork stuffed tortillas.
There's different variations, Tacti Platy. I'll have you know.
Charlene, by the way, I'm sorry. I'm not a singer, but I hope you have a better day.
Well, I am.
Dane saying, but I'm sorry, I'm not a singer, but I really do hope you have a better day. I apologize. I'm not a singer. All right, guys, now that we've lost our minds, before we go, would you please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already? How else will we know that our job, which is very, very difficult, is worth it? That's how we know. Because our job is so hard, we need you guys to subscribe so we can continue to have the motivation to continue to do so. Dane, my friend, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, hey, thank you for the time of my life.
Let everyone know where they can
You're
find
welcome.
You can find me on Twitter at Dane Font. And now, sorry, I shall spell that out for you. DANEFONT.
Perfect. There's one more there's two more there. Mary.
Yeah, Shane H. Wilder said, can someone tell me how there is not a Cartman cover of In the Arms of the Angels? Why am I asking? Oh, no reason.
All of the Cartman covers rule. Okay.
Yeah, that is weird that that doesn't exist.
All of the Cartman AI music covers are the greatest thing you will ever hear in your life. I recommend you go listen to all of them.
I like when Indian guys sing Sia.
Yes! Did I send you that again?
No, my
recently,
wife
the other
did.
Day? Yeah.
I kind of mix my wife and you on Instagram.
It's that one is
What?
amazing.
Same sense of humor,
Only
honestly.
because I know how much you hate that song.
Yeah, I do. I hate it immensely.
Yeah.
Okay, Tacti Platty said, yes, there's 2 types of quesadillas. One is like you get at Taco Bell. The other is more bread, like cornbread. Wondering if that was like
Cornbread?
empanada debate.
What kind of quesadilla is on cornbread?
Yeah, I've never seen or heard of that. DCNC said in Starship Troopers, they're nice boobs, not Oppenheimer. Okay, I don't care whether they're nice boobs or ugly boobs. I don't want to see the boobs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were about meritocracy. Crazy, Mary.
Only the best boobs win here.
Look at this.
Okay.
I mean,
Liberal.
like Starship Troopers does have Dina Meyer in it, and Dina Meyer is freaking awesome. So I do
Who?
recommend that if you you might not want to watch it because of nudity, but otherwise.
I should have never brought up Starship Troopers.
Yep.
No.
That was a mistake. That's on me.
There's one
Tacti
more.
Platty said yes. Other types of pupusas, but too long to explain.
Perfect.
There, you're cut off.
And one more.
I wonder what he was gonna say.
Bucky Ducky said, Mary, Starship Troopers will be worth it though. Okay, but you said I wouldn't get it. So will it be worth it for me to watch it? Probably not.
All right, Mary, where can they find you?
You can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived.
I was like, as I was asking him, like, did I already ask her that? Because half the time when I ask
You
to
always
say
got
it,
to second guess yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Guys, if you would like to follow me, and I don't know why you would want to after a day like today, but you can follow me on Instagram and on Twix at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. PCC is here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. It's difficult, but we're here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Somehow
New
we
Pacific-
manage.
We persevere, guys, at 3 p.m. Eastern every single day. And if you'd like to listen to this podcast rather than watch it, we are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. And if you would like to follow the show on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook and TikTok at Pop Culture Crisis, except for not on TikTok because we're banned on there. And we're on Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. Guys, we'll be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bro, but for real though, this job is so freaking difficult. I don't know how we do this every day.
I don't know either.